Ducklings, welcome back everyone, welcome back to another weekend edition here of the WardiTV Monday, WardiTV Monday number 78. I'm of course just VIP with you and joined by these amazing players and of course by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all, bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos, welcome one and all to another week of WardiTV Monday action. Here we go. Once again, as a reminder, of course, this is a replay cast as the main event does begin in a couple of hours time. But we're here to jump in a little bit earlier, a little bit faster with said replay coverage. We're going to be jumping into the quarterfinals, followed by the semis and the grand finals thereafter. And I feel like we're a little bit rushing at the moment when it comes to trying to get through some of these older broadcasts because TLMC is about to wrap up. We have the new maps on the horizon, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into those new maps and to bid these ones adieu. Not to say that they're bad or anything like that, but you know what? It's been a full season, and I'm hoping, I can't remember what the polling was actually, whether we get a full set of 9 new maps. I hope so. I hope so, baby. I hope so. Regardless, here we go. But now we're going to be jumping into our first series. It's going to be best of three matchup here between Björn and Solar. Let's go. Let us go. But again, as a reminder, it is going to be a very intense week of StarCraft ahead of us. Intense week when it comes to our regular broadcasting. Of course, we have the GSL CK tomorrow. True. GSL CK is going to be tomorrow evening. I have to get ready for that one. It's it's going to be an intense night of StarCraft. But here we go. This morning in the top right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Björn. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Solar. Oh god, they're always banting. Un momento, papi, un momento. Ay. Alright, where we at? Hold on. Can Google Translate save us? Un momento. I don't understand the context. Oh no. I think Solar's like, you wanted this, and then Björn's like, get this over with. Like, I don't understand the context, baby. I don't understand. Oh no. But here we go. It is going to be 2x Reaper here out of Björn. No SCV Scout out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, we'll see how Solar does react, and we'll see how hard Björn does commit, as the Overlord is on the way. Oh my god. Give us the next photo. I know that Solo, he brought up Shin for some reason. A fun fact, Shin brought up Solo last night. True. What are they saying right now? Oh my god, I'm not going to translate that. I now have context as to what's going on. Anyway, right now they're just talking about the build itself. Baby Soul just scattered. He just scattered 2x Reaper. Is where Björn will be moving out across the map. It is going to be 2x Reaper into a CC on the low ground. So an additionally aggressive build here. Not an all-in, and I believe the Overlord did confirm the CC. So Solar knows there is no third Rax behind this. Behind this though, it is going to be Björn hoping to try and delay the expansion. The hope here is to delay, and the hope is to contain Solar. Behind the Solar can stay in gas. We can see that the Solar he pulled out, so Link Speed is on the way, pulls out of gas, not going for a main bust, not going for a roach rush. He is just looking to defend and build up into the mid game. Meanwhile, Solar does get the third. Ooh, he did hide the drone. Third base does get up and running, and Björn has denied this. Behind it's going for a third CC. Okay. Hypergreed out of Björn. Reapers, they confirm the third base, and Björn can't do anything about it. Yeah, he cannot stop the third. So far, this opener hasn't really been worth it for Björn. He does poke in, almost gets a drone, going to be zoned away, and again, behind this, Björn is going for a very fast command center before the factory. This will delay any kind of follow-up. Is going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 variation as the follow-up, but a little bit more delayed here, and yeah, we'll see if Solo can punish Björn. As Link Speed is going to kick in 10 seconds. Björn has to be careful. He's got to be careful with these Reapers. Does pull away. I would say in the end, Beyond, he failed to get the damage he was hoping for. As we mentioned before, the goal is to at least deny the third base and to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases. He failed to do so. Back at home, he is being hyper greedy, and we'll see how Solar does react from here. I'm assuming that's that he's talking about the 2-1-1. Again, it's going to be a 3-6-2-2-1-1. I'm assuming they're referring to the build here based on the numbers being used, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think Solar, he asked him if it's going to be like a regular 2-1-1 or an economic version, and then Beyond said it's going to be an all-in. I think that's when Solar did. He went for the the crying face emoji. I mean, technically this could be like a 4x follow-up behind this, but Hellions just got scouted, so Solar, he's least aware of the factory follow-up. As Beyond does poke in, pulls away. Behind the Solar droning, saturating up on 3 bases. Get to take his gases just now. Gases are going to be in the way. And as it all settles here, Beyond's big power spike is going to be with 1-1 and with his third base. Right? Remember, it's a fast third CC, which means fast 2 base saturation, fast 3 base saturation. So the mid game here is where Beyond really does hit his stride, but he has to get there first. Likewise, Solar. Still droning. Still droning, still saturating. It was just the one Hellion, right? Yep, only one Hellion. Factory just being used to make add-ons. Building up into his tank push. And the game is slowing down. And we are slowing down from here. Now that we have our medevacs, Beyond can be active. Stim is done. He's pushing across the map. And I believe with the heavy queen count, we should be okay. It's going to be 8 queens. We have a handful of links to defend, 6 more links in production. Beyond does have a lot of potential with this army, but Solar should have the tools to defend here. Oh, that is range. Wait, what? Okay, interesting. We have seen Solar be a little bit more fond of this style here, as one queen does get picked off. Nice pick off. Gets a queen. Let's get a queen. More links are amassing. We mentioned this last night when we were casting Shin's matches, but this heavy Hydra style has been very prevalent as of late from players like Solar, like Shin, like Rogue. A lot of the Korean Zerg players have been embracing this. Oh, as queen almost goes down. And then counterattack is denied. Here is going to be zoned away. Hydra amassing. Remember, this is Hydra's before Banelings, so Baneling speed is heavily delayed this game in favor of just a heavy Hydra count. And so far, Beyond, his aggression hasn't really achieved too much here. Second factory tells us that Beyond, he will not be A-Raxing. He'll be expanding behind this, taking extra gases and going for another command center. There we go, gases are on the way. And we should soon be seeing that 4th CC. So we're still building up. It's been relatively tame so far. Beyond moving out with another double drop. Solar's queens are a little bit exposed. He's got to be careful. Does he react quickly enough? Does he react? Yeah, there's a sim. Queens, they pull away. Oh no! Oh, the queen's getting caught out. Losing 1, losing 2 queens. Ay, ay, ay. That's a lot of creep falling. Nice catch there by Beyond. Behind this, there's that 4th command center. 2-2 is on the way by our tank. And it's all about Beyond setting up for the push. And here it comes. This time he's got his tanks. Just the 1 tank for now. Double drop here is keeping Solar distracted. Army gets spotted. Solar trying to react. Does pounce on the base, but the Hydras are exposed. Yeah, where's the Ling Bane? He wears the Ling Bane to support the Hydras. Beyond, he does give chase. Catching 1, 2, 3 Hydras. Bailey's now going to be waddling in. Bailey's speed just not finishing. Oh no, can he connect? Ah, not quite. Yeah, the tank is within range. Solar now collapsing in. Now trying to at least. Oof. Oh god. Okay, we got one connection. One Bailey connects. Solar, he's barely holding on. He's maintaining his 4 bases. He's holding. But it does feel like Beyond has too much momentum here. Here comes the second wave, the second push. Again, there's no crease right here, pushing towards the center. Or towards the flank. There's a cancel. Tanks are moving in. The base itself is very low. Beyond has to be careful. Double drop was cleaned up. Ooh, bit of miscontrol there by Beyond. Inattentive. Yeah, the drop is cleaned up. Tanks are pushing in. Now at least the creep may allow for Solar to flank. Just a little bit paranoid. Yeah, we get the double drop into the main base. Solar's out of position, and this will trade well. Cleans up Flings. Takes down the Spore. Getting a little bit out of hand, but now should be cleaned up. Ooh, as Beyond once again inattentive here, does leave the drop idle. We spoke about it earlier when it came to the northern double drop. But that's 4 Medivacs going down. Beyond, we gotta look in. We gotta look in, Bappy. Yeah, Solar's overwhelming. Just overwhelming the army here. He's got his mass Hydra, started stepping forward, getting on top of the tanks. And Solar, he retains the Hydra count, now building up into what? Into Lurkers. Yeah, Lurker Den is on the way. He's got plenty of Lurkers available, plenty of Hydras available to morph in. Here comes another double drop. It doesn't bode well. It does not bode well. We lost a lot of these double drops. Yeah, Solar's ready. Worse in the pickup. The first wave of Lurkers are on the way. Bearing in mind that at least for now, these are layer tech Lurkers. They need a little bit more time for their upgrades. Both armies are maxed, but one army is not quite like the other. Beyond is stuck in purely Biomine, right? Biomine is an army composition. He's not ready for Lurker tech. Link Bane collapsing in. So far though, Beyond trades well. Yeah, Beyond trades well. No Lurkers in position. Where are the Lunkers, Bappy? Yeah, the base is gonna go down. Lurkers now have arrived. There's only 2? 5. Okay, 5 Lurkers. First one is revealed. Oof. Losing another queen. Jeez. Okay. Another queen goes down, and again, the lurker count just isn't there yet. We have 7 lurkers on the way. Blasts are exposed. Okay. Lurkers, they hold their own. A code drop towards the sun side. Solar is being pulled apart. He just wants to take the main fight. Yeah, a little bit late to react. Oof. One Medivac goes down. Lands a power bomb. Ooh, gets a second Medivac. Ay. Lurker's trying to reposition. This time the upgrades are done. Yeah, the upgrades are finished. The army's going to get pounced upon. Massive catch. No. Yeah, Beyond gets caught. He gets caught out. He has to get the hell out of here. At the same time, Double Drop is still barely alive. Does find some damage, and Solar, he commits. He just commits across the map. He doesn't even care. He'll lose the expansion. Ooh, Solo about to get surrounded though. Yeah, Solo trying to maintain this position, but we come in from behind. We get a full surround, and Solo, he will lose every single lurker. He's down to two lunkers. Down to 0. And Solo can't afford that. He cannot afford these losses. He just lost an expansion, lost 11 drones. That was about 7 lurkers going down to 5. And again, I don't blame Solo for pushing across the map, but alas, he just did not have enough. He was so desperate to break out. And Bjorn is overwhelming. Just overwhelming the army. At this point, he can just rally across the map. He's so close to breaking the back here of Solar. Rotates over. Getting a queen. Catching a queen. Again, my big concern here was that we were going to be seeing a big power spike for Solar coming in with lurkers pre-Ghost, right? Pre-Ghost Academy. But in the end, we got the full surround. Like, we didn't need the snipes. We didn't need the snipes. Didn't need the ghosts. Bjarni held his own. Once again, collapsing here on 2 lurkers. Getting the expansion, the drones, the economy. No. Solo does defend on the northern side though. Fusion core is on the way. We see Bjorn switching to Liberators. That should be an alternate solution here to the lurker. He's forced back home. Solo fighting back. Oh no! Ooh, massive lurker shots. Oh god! Going up the choke points. Solo takes a better fight. Does that position. That positions, takes down the expansion. CC goes down. Bjorn is in trouble. Really messy. We're getting messy here. Catching out a Liberator. Gets one. Trades, bleeding out one of his lurkers. 1, 2 lurkers going down. Oof. Getting another towards the end. The lurkers are pushing him towards the natural. He's getting into the production. He's close. We have how many? Oh my god. 16 lurkers. Okay. It's not pretty, it's not clean, but Solo, he's brute forcing it. He's just brute forcing his way through. He's got 16 lurkers in between the bases. Again, a very intense game, very back and forth. Solo, he was hurting. He was almost down and out. But he got up to 16 lurkers. He has his Vipers as well. Oh. Still barely alive. And this is where we spoke earlier about, I was concerned that Bjorn would be outscaled. He has been, right? Like Bjorn, without any ghosts, he has no easy way to deal with these lurkers. As he tries to stim in. Planetary goes down, massive pickup. Yeah, no. The lunkers, pappy, they're everywhere. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very, very intense game 1 here. Again, very back and forth. Bjorn is doing well for himself. Again, if you recall, my big concern was that once Solo got into Hive Tech, that he would just snowball out of control and get out of hand and just break through Bjorn. But no, Bjorn, he was able to go for his drop play, take down bases, punish the economy. And again, that was that big moment where he was able to surround the lurkers, reset the lurker count, and gain a lead. But he wasn't quite able to do enough from there. Did kill another expansion, that is true, but he wasn't able to stop Solo from rebuilding those lurkers, building them up, and hitting critical mass of 16 lurkers and his Vipers, and he just went for one big all-in, one big push right through the center. GG, well played. I mean, that's Ruby Rock. True, that is Ruby Rock. And that will take us here into game number 2, and we'll see if Bjorn can fight back and have this back and forth and go to the ace match, or if Solo can clean it out here and now. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner, sorry, bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is Bjorn. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Teal Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. I see Rake in the chat. Beyond is my biggest rival at the moment. I'll find a way to cheese him with carriers once again. Oh no. Oh no. Este Rake. SMH my hedge. I mean, hey, we did give Rake a lot of praise that first series 2 weeks ago. Did have a really strong showing versus Beyond. A little bit less so last night. But regardless. Best of luck. Really cool to see you competing in SE2, by the way. Like, when I think of Rake, I think of StarCraft Evolution. Right? I think of SE Evo. As Rake is a more predominant player in StarCraft Evolution tournaments. But regardless, good to see you. Good to see you. Este Rake. The Lunkers, Pappy C, the Lunkers. As once again, we're going to be opening up 2-Rax Reaper. Now, as a reminder, this opener was lackluster last game. If you recall, the purpose of 2-Rax Reaper is to ideally force a cancel or delay the third base and contain the Zerg player onto expansions, but Solar did successfully hide his drone, got his third up and running, and was able to build up into 3 bases without too much issue, so the initial opener from Beyond wasn't quite worth it. It did force out a bunch of Lings at least, and did force earlier Ling speed. There were some inefficiencies that he forced out of Solar, but not enough, not as much as he was hoping for. Not as much. As Reapers are amassing. Bearing in mind we are spawning to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. Solar confirms that Beyond is not at topside. And Beyond will scout Solar immediately. We'll move in, we'll scout. We get into the natural. No mage damage yet, so we're just buying time for the queen. Queen does pop. As we mentioned before, the goal for Beyond is to force a cancel. And with the arrival of the third Reaper, he may be able to. I believe it's only 3 though. Yeah, only 3 Reapers. And can he force that cancellation? It looks like he will. Yeah, it looks like he will. As Solar cannot save this. There's a cancellation. As Solar, he does not stay in gas. He's not going for a Bane Bust. He's not going for a Roach Rush. He's not going for the all-in. Reapers they break into the natural, gets 1, gets 2. Okay. 2 drone kills and the cancel, not a bad start. A better start this time for Beyond. True. Better start here in game 2. Behind this we have Beyond going for a straight up, once again, third CC. Yeah, earlier third CC. It was 2-on-1. This time a faster factory. Remember last game it was a command center before the factory, this time it was after the factory. So we have a faster setup here. Stim is on the way. Oh, going for the add-on swap. Okay, it's going to be 3cc 2-on-1 with Banshees, not with Metamax. That's why we have the earlier factory. Okay. Earlier factory, earlier starport, earlier Banshee play. Now, the way this works here, this has been very fun and very prevalent from players like Maru, from players like Beyond, from the Korean Terran players. It's a very fun build to mix in. Basically, meta-wise, due to what Solar's seen, it should be a medevac, right? So we have 2 Raxes. The goal should be early stim into early medevac production into the early push across the map. It is technically inefficient to go into Banshee play, but that is why Cloak Banshees can catch players off guard here in this position. There's a very low chance that spores are ready in time. Now, Beyond isn't committing too hard. I would assume that we would go into Cloak, but no Cloak, right? There is no Cloak. So the lack of spores here could have killed Solar, by the way. These Banshees could show up with Cloak. They hit the natural base and they can just deal critical damage. But here, Solar, he isn't getting spores. At the same time, there is no Cloak, so it is not as necessary. Again, this is a cheeky build. It could have been cheekier. It could have been detrimental. Banshees moving out across the map. Again, there are no spores. I mean, there doesn't need to be. But it was a very light commitment here from Beyond, so this shouldn't get much done. There was potential, though. There was potential. It would have been free damage. As Banshee does poke in. Spores are now being thrown down reactively. Spore at the third. He's responding here. Sorry, Spore at the natural, I meant to say. Means you respond at the third. Meanwhile, here comes the main push. Stim is done. And we do have Stim. Banshee will be chipping away at the fourth expansion. Beyond Stim's in. He wants to have Alien Nest. Ooh, shouldn't get it though. Yeah, should not get it. Solar, he's here to, sorry, Beyond is here to force a cancel. And he will not be able to. It is close. Okay. It is close. Second queen has arrived. The hatchery does get very low. And even if it finishes, it will have very little HP. Beyond can snipe. He's coming. Beyond Sims in. Gets another the expansion. Queen goes down. But won't get the hatchery. Yeah, won't get the expansion here. Forced to pick up. So let us hold. Oh, meanwhile, sorry, I was a little bit distracted and focusing on Beyond. But Solar going into Muta play. Okay, Spire is done at the natural, going to Ling Bane Muta. A very stark kind of composition compared to last game, where he rushed into Hydras, into +1 range, into Lurker play. But fast Mutas, and so far, I believe, yeah, Beyond unscouted. Beyond, he does not see, does not scout his opponents. Beyond has no idea what's going on. No. This would have also been the upside of going into Cloak Banshee, is being able to freely dip in between the bases to scout and do damage. Oh, he sees. Yeah, it does catch one, two. 2 meters going down. But the mineral lines are exposed. And do we base trade? Meters hit the third base at the same time. Beyond is pushing in. He's coming. Does Beyond have enough though? There we go, dropping into the natural. Means they respond. There just is not enough fire here. The tanks are going to go down. Nice tank shots here on the Banelings. But they roll it in. They force a pickup. Yeah, Beyond, he will lose at 9 SCVs across the map. At the same time, he does kill the fourth base. Not a bad pickup. But he lost all of his tanks. Lost the tanks, lost the bio. Beyond does not have enough. Yeah, he's going to lose everything. Oof. And we'll lose everything here. The drops are being cleaned up. That's the power of the Muta. So he will lose 9 drones, and this is some nice damage here, but as I mentioned before, everything will go down. At least it should. Oof. Nice focus, Ryan. Getting 1, 2, 3 Mutalisks. Expensive trades here for Solar. Beneficus Quartz. It's pure marine tank here from Beyond. Was he A-Raxing? Wait, what? Oh, he was. My apologies. Again, we were fixated on Solar here, but we have 9 Raxes for Beyond. He's 3-base all in. Beyond, he has no gases this time, no second factory, no 4 CC. Beyond, he's meant to end the game with this, and if he fails, I mean that's it. He has to win the game. He's all in. He's 9 racks all in. Now, these all-ins typically do well against Muta play. Mutas, they are not ideal defensively, but they're great when it comes to picking up reinforcements, catching tanks. Solo coming in from behind. There we go, does focus on one, the other tank as well. Bio army attempts to split, splitting. Oh, does split away. Okay, not bad. Solo still has enough. They're collapsing in the army. Oh no, the Medivacs! Catching out full Medivacs as well. 1, 2 full Medivacs go down. And again, a heavy losses here for Bjorn. Bjorn, he will kill the 4th base once again. But Soul took the center base. He has another expansion. He has more bases back. Nice catch. Catching out 2 Mutalisks. Behind this Solar, he's running up to 80. Building on Molding Bane. The Hive is nowhere near completion, but he doesn't need it. As Bjorn is at least starting mining at the 4th. True. That's another 4th expansion that's going to be going down. I say that's getting low. Beyond dropping into the natural. And this is doing a great job when it comes to dealing with the economy of Solar and keeping it low, but it's still better than that of Beyond's. I say that Beyond is finally expanding. It's a very late 4th base. It was never meant to be here, but is now getting a 4th. Bjorn had no intention of getting a 4th base. Hey, Bjorn is transitioning. Catching up more bio. I'm hoping that soon Bjorn can switch into Widowmine play. Usually bio tank is ideal when it comes to the ARAX we were going for earlier, but at this point the game is slowing down. I don't need that much more anti-air or splash damage. So Bjorn wins for sure. Muse not great. If you missed the early to mid game, as we were trying to emphasize, Bjorn was all in. Bjorn was 9-raxing, so Bjorn, he had no longevity here in this game. That's why his upgrades are delayed, his 4th base is delayed, the economy is delayed, and as you saw, Bjorn, he was bleeding out a lot of units. So Bjorn doesn't really have the best setup getting into a longer game state. Meanwhile, Solar, here comes the Hive tech, and typically alongside Hive comes Ultras. That's usually the direction that we're heading in. Is going to be Ultra Tech. Bjorn is not ready for Ultras at the moment. We'll see if he can tech him into Ghosts. Picking up the turret. So just keeping tabs on Bjorn. Getting 3 tanks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tanks going down. Nice catch out of Solar. Here comes that Widowmine production. As we mentioned before, like, tanks are not ideal against Lingbane Muta. You do need to switch in those mines. So the mines are coming. No drilling claws. And it's a rough decision to be active like this, but Bjorn, he has to do something with this army. Like, it's such a cheap army. It's just pure marine. Bjorn is maxed. Let's go. And we spoke about it, Ultras. As we mentioned before, like, Ultras, that's going to be the nail in the coffin. Bjorn has to try to end the game before Ultra Tech. We have to end it. Oh my god, but there's just so much Lingbane Muta. And Soul just has to buy time. It's all about buying time. Nice splits. Nice spread here by Bjorn. He's spreading well. trying to force a worse fight. Solo being careful. Just slowly chipping away at the army. Slowly chipping away. The expansion is taking some hits. And again, Beyond's done a great job when it comes to denying the 4th and 5th base so far this game, but still working on it. There we go. Gets another expansion. Oh, wouldn't mind, they've now joined the fray. They've joined the main fight. Ultras are coming. We spoke about it earlier. It's all about killing before Ultra Tech. And the Ultras are coming. Oh my god. Little Bane is going down. Now we're just committing. Oh. As the Wouldn't Mind does not connect. Dragging the shots. Solar pushing off a creep. Yeah, a bit of an extension. Cheeky moves out of Solar. Very cheeky. Este Solar. But there it is. The Ultras, they're coming. 4 Ultras on the way. Kind of splitting's almost done. Here they come. And there's one Marauder. Now, bearing in mind this Ultra is lacking upgrades. Yeah, we're lacking upgrades, but the army's overstimmed. The Ultras have arrived. And as I mentioned, Beyond, like, he didn't really have any longevity here in this game. He had to kill before Ultra Tech. And the Ultras have arrived. Now, thankfully, Beyond, he is starting to mix in a couple of extra Marauders. He doesn't have the most amount of tech labs. You can see he's got more tech labs on the way. Just try to get into triple Marauder production. Marauders are a nice stopgap, especially when the Ultra count is very low. But as the Ultra count builds up, that's when Marauders, they don't quite cut it. That's when typically you have to switch into Ghosts, into Liberators, into a more efficient composition. We can see Beyond is floating over his main. Like that's, that's how desperate he is. Floating over the main base. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. Oh, yes, man. Oh my god. Massive Bailey connections. Okay, Bailey's they smash in. Ultra's pushing forward. Music coming from behind as well. Yeah, coming from behind, catching up the Marines. And Beyond, he just doesn't really have much left over. Yeah, the army just breaks the production. Getting all those final units. Again, we're falling back to regular CC. There's no planetary. And the mute is over well. Oof, GG gets called. GG gets called as Beyond, he has nothing left. He gets outscaled. And Solar, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A very intense game here from both Beyond and Solar. Again, Beyond, he was doing a great job when it came to denying the 4th base. Denying the 4th base over and over and over again. He was doing well for himself, but as a reminder, he himself was all in, right? Denying a base is nice, but Beyond had to kill. He had to kill his opponent, and he failed to do so. We saw that Solar, he got away with his mutas. He was able to catch out the medevacs, do some counterattacks, kill and cripple the economy, pick off SCVs, and chip away at those reinforcements. And yeah, Beyond, he just didn't get the momentum he was really looking for. Afterwards, we saw that the game did slow down a little bit. Beyond eventually got a 4th CC. Solar likewise got a 5th hatchery, and we started to tech up. Solar taking up into Ultras. Beyond was still stuck on a very mid-tier army. As we tried to emphasize, Beyond, he was all in for moments at the beginning, from the initial early to mid game, and Beyond had a really hard time kind of building up into a greater economy and taking up as well. That's why we saw no Liberators, or we saw no Ghost play or anything like that. Beyond wasn't really built for a longer game. Not here, not a Mothership. Wasn't built for it. GG, well played. With that, Solar does claim the series, and does advance on into the semi-finals. Let's go. I don't know why we're getting air upgrades to Solar. I thought it was supposed to trade them and transition to Ultras. He did transition to Ultras, but if you notice, he did not trade his mutas. He actually maintained his muta count to shut down drop play, to continue to harass. Like, the mutas still maintain themselves as a core part of the army. It was more so that we were trading out Ling Bane for the Ultras instead. why like throw away mutas if you don't need to? Mutas are they're quite expensive, right? They're very gas intensive, so ideally you do want to preserve them and you want to be able to maintain them if possible. And yeah, Solar, he was kind of spending excess gas, excess resources on those upgrades. And hey, the mutas, they were still influential even towards the end of the game. So influential. But GG well played with that. With that Solar, he does advance on to the next round, and we're going to be following Solar into the semifinals. Let's go. Following him into the semis is going to be a ZVT between Solar and Percival. Oh boy. Yeah, Percival himself has also been excelling as of late when it comes to his recent performances. I would still say that his best matchup is TVP. Like Percival, his TVP has been insane. We'll see how he does compare to Solar. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the teal Zerg player, the teal Zerg player himself. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. So we are building up into Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps in the map, larger map, longer rush distance by ground, and I'm curious to see how Percival will approach this matchup. Percival, as we mentioned before, has been having a lot of success in TVP and in TVT as well. He's been beating Beyond on a regular basis. He's been taking down players and taking maps off of Hero, MaxPax, Classic as well. Percival isn't looking insane, but I will still say that his weakest matchup is still TVZ. Like, this is where Percival still has to fixate and focus and improve on. And I'm curious to see how he does approach Solar. Now, what I will say though is that Percival, he's very intense. He's very drop heavy, very drop heavy. He has a lot of micro, a lot of multi-prong aggression, on par if not greater than Bjorn, to be honest, when it comes to his multi-prong aggression. It's been impressive to see Percival as of late. It's been very impressive. What I will say though is that because he's so drop heavy and so multi-prong aggression heavy, what I will say is that if the prongs fail, like if the drops, if they start to be cleaned up, then Percival does lose a lot of momentum. Like, he's hyper fixated on getting damage done, on pulling apart his opponents, getting to the economy, getting into bases, and if he fails to really do damage, then things look quite dire for Percival. At least that's what we've seen in recent times. So we'll see if he does play that style here against Solar. Likewise, because of the drop heavy play that Percival is very fond of, Muta play makes sense here, especially on Winter Madness. Winter Madness is a larger map, a longer rush distance by ground. Muta play is more and more common as of late, especially on these larger maps. We just saw Mutas on Mothership, but we could see Mutas here on Winter Madness as well. So they are very much so viable. Let's go. I guess commenting on the mutas are not great comments in the chat. Mutas, they have seen a resurgence in recent months due to the recent patch, so that would have been back in November. But of course, the mutas are now more accessible in ZVT, and we have been seeing them more in all matchups actually. I'm not saying that they are like meta or that you see them every game, but in a best of 3 or a best of 5, you do expect to see them at least once. I will still say that Muta play is still quite heavily reliant on not being scouted, and we saw that against Bjorn, right? Bjorn, he failed to scout the Spire, failed to scout the Mutas. I will still say that Muta play still is reliant on that kind of surprise factor, for sure, for sure. I'd say that is true. Behind this, we have our third CC into our 1-1-1 standard economic opener out of Percival. Everything looking normal so far. And soon we'll find out if Solar wants to go lair first, Evo chambers first, or bring the nest first. We'll soon see our tech of choice. Oh, hello. Going for a 3cc 1-1-1. No add-on here. No tech lab, no add-on swap. Going into a Liberator first. Interesting. Does go for the Liberator. And this would be risky if we had, say, Roach play or a Roach Horn being thrown down. But Soul's playing standard. No Roaches to be concerned about. And Liberator's moving out for some economic damage. Often we do see Viking into Liberator to be able to deny any kind of Overlord scouting. Oh, as it looks like there was a little bit of latency here in the game. Smudge. Hellions are being active. It is going to be lair first out of Solar. So that's going to be 425 lair timing. Lair first is usually a little bit safer. It does mean an earlier Overseer scout is going to be available. So we can scout with Overseers. Build up into Baneling speed. Going for later Eva chambers, later upgrades. As Purse was distracting. Liberator does hit the natural. Soul's paying attention. Solar, he's locked in. Spores are repositioning. I believe that should be within range. Yeah. Is within range. The Liberator is going to be focused down. Oh. That should fall. Solar still keeping up with the Hellions. And so far, Solar, he holds on. He's holding on. Oh, and I was curious about something here. I don't know if you noticed, but there was no Baneling Nest. There was no Baneling Nest, and I was curious. I was like, hold on. Are we going into the Spire? Are we going into Hydras? We have the answer. It is going to be Hydra Den into +1 range. Let's go. It's going to be a heavy Hydra composition. If you recall, we did mention this in Game 1 versus Beyond. We saw the Solo went for the same style, going into a heavy Hydra composition against Beyond. This is a style that has been very prevalent as of late from the Korean Zerg players, is to delay Banelings. So we still get there, but we have delayed Banelings, heavy Hydras, and it does lead into a big power spike, and it much more naturally transitions into Lurkers, which we saw in Game 1. But again, Ling Bane is a very fragile composition. It's very lava intensive as well. Going into Hydras like this, it's a way to have a bit of a more robust early game. Early to mid game, even. Solar supply blocked. Medevac dropping into the natural. Sorry, into the main. Hey, catching out a Hydra. Gets one, gets two. Expensive losses here for Solar. Losing 2 Hydras. Medevac trapped. Now it was an okay start for Percival catching out some Hydras, but Solar, his Hydra cannon is getting a little bit out of hand. There's 1-1 upgrades are finishing. Hydras are amassing. Catching up with the Hellbats. Yeah, Marine's going to be focused on as well. Double drop does unload, does hit the mineral line. Gets a Queen. Oh, but no drones. Yeah, no major economic damage. We can see the Solar, he's already droned up to 84. He's got his 84 workers. Now Solar can focus on maxing out. He can focus on his Ling Bane Hydra. He's made it. Some nice pickups here, getting a Hydra. Getting 2. 2 Hydras going down, but Solar, he should soon commit across the map. He's just waiting for his upgrades. Waiting for Baneling speed. Oh, we do catch 2 Queens. Not bad. And you can see Percival just started stepping his heart out. He's catching out Ling Bane. Stims in. Right, drops into the main. Getting another Queen. Is getting out of hand. We spoke about this earlier at the start of this game. How Percival is typically very drop heavy. We have a drop here towards the south side, drop into the main, and drop outside of the natural as well. Drones are going down. Queens alongside them. Oh, these are my shots. Decent connections. And this is typically where Percival thrives. I stand by what I said earlier as well, that if this fails to get damage done, then he typically falls behind. But so far, it's been worth it. Oh. It's been Percival catching out workers, keeping Solar busy. Back at home, Percival is building up his 4 CC, getting to his own bio tank. Percival needs a little bit more time. He still needs more time. And Soul is taking. Hive is on the way. This should lead into Lurker tech, but we'll see. No Lurker Den yet. He's getting good stuff. Stepping. Ooh! Painling's like raising army. Solo forcing Percival back. Double Drop comes from behind, catching out 3 drones. Not bad. 3 worker kills. I still don't see a Lurker Den here, so we might actually go into Ultras. It's hard to say for certainty, just because we have 2-2 on the way. Like, we have +2 melee and +2 range, so we're taking in both directions. If we had a commitment into only one of them, then we can assume, but still getting both. There it is. It is going to be Lurkers. Okay. Taking into Lunkers. Oof, Jesus. Yeah, nice mine shots. Mines are popping off. Percival is still being active. This is very similar to the Beyond game, where Percival, he's on a bit of a timer here. And he has to do critical damage before the Lurkers do hit. And you can see the drops for Percival, they're slowing down. Yeah, the drops are slowing down. I say that they're still getting value. They're still gaining value. Oh. Alright, does get away. Here comes the main push. This time with tanks. Both armies are maxed out. And Percival's moving in. And pushing right through the center. Slowly he attempts to collapse forward. And committing into the army. So far, dissipating connections. We're getting some of the tanks. Yeah, there's not enough here. Yeah, not enough here. Every tank does go down. Solar cleans up. And the scariest thing here are the Lurkers. Lurker range is on the way. There we go. 7 Lurkers now morphing in. Where's the detection? There we go. Cleans up the minefield. And again, this is nice damage here from Percival, getting 6 drones, but this is not good enough. It's not good enough. Not anymore. Percival is now switching to Ghosts into Liberators. Unlike Beyond Percival, he does have a better transition in towards the mid to late game. Ghosts are massing Liberators as well, but alas, Percival, he needs more time. Oof. So we've been getting nice worms up and running. Oh.
Upgrade. Mineral field depleted.
Army gets spotted. We have 9 Lurkers so far. Free tanks in the center. I'd say free tanks. The mines do punish. Lurkers, they move into Ghost though. Oof. Yeah, they move into a siege line. That is not worth it. That's 8 Lurkers going down. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, Solar, he was trying to be cheeky and trying to push in towards the third base and hoping that maybe Purcell was out of position. Speaking of being out of position, though, we do find some damage here. Yeah, Planetary is completely on its own. Not like this. Planetary goes down. Purcell is down to 4 expansions. Can we have that back and forth? Nice stutter stepping. Oh. Catching the ghosts, getting on top of the tanks. Last person he is punished. At the same time, another counterattack here at the mineral line. We're trading bases. We're trading mineral lines. There's a lot of drones going down. Drones are falling. That CC does not lift. Kills the command center. Hatchery also does go down. We're getting messy. Oh my god, the target firing on the railings. Jesus. Percival, calm down. Calm down, pappy. As Percival gets a mineral line, takes out the expansion. At the same time, though, Percival he needs a base of his own. He needs a CC. He's floating over. He's floating. Distracted by drops. More bases going down. Percival he's popping up. Does get caught out for a moment here, though. Oof. Still a little things going down. Does come from behind, does get one of the tanks. Second tank goes down as well. But he cannot push into all these ghosts. There are just so many of them. Solar being cheeky. Bold infestors. He's being cheeky. Alas, he only has the one infestor. Gathering energy as we speak. First, we finally does get a 5th base up and running. But Solar, he wants that 5th. He wants a planetary. And he's not a planetary yet. Oof. Yeah, there's no shot we can push into this. There are just so many tanks. Nice into the main. How many lurkers? 9. And the Nice will finish. Wow, the Nice does finish up. Percival, late reaction, late scout, late realization. Lurkers are coming. A little bit delayed here when it comes to lurker aggression, and also not all of them were unloaded. So a little bit messier by Solar. Looks like he's going to be cleaned up. 9 lurkers on top of that ramp. That would have been brutal. The lurkers they trickle out. Another base falls. Lurkers are cleaned up. I say that there's 2 lurkers left. True. It's being annoying. And just always had enough. He's just pushing right through the center. Trying to catch out some free tanks. And 2 tanks pulls away. Chopper's gonna be cleaned up. Courier is spreading. And even though we've had like a back and forth, and Percival has done well for himself, knocking down bases, knocking down mineral lines, reality is Solar, he has more expansions. He has plenty of mining here. Solar, he has built up somewhat of a bank, and Percival has not. So Solar, he can afford to trade in efficiently, and he has been, right? He's been, Percival has been much more efficient. And that's the Terran army. But Solar, he still maintained the larger bank. And now collapsing in. Collapsing in, catching up the bio. Ooh, cannot commit into the planetary. Jesus. that's a lot of snipes. Once again, trading bases. Oh, turns out, no, they can't get away. No. 16 drones and expansion. Remember, Soleil still has more bases. He can still afford this, for now at least. That's Percival's reinforcing. For the most part, he's established center right, now pushing bottom left. Okay, so Percival, if he can knock down this expansion and take it for himself and for his own, then he can start to swing things in his favor. I mean, again, he's already out trading. Alright, just moving in, getting into the first tank. Snipe swapping up. Ooh, trying to force a friendly fire. Cheeky moves there by Solar. Does not get on top of the ghost. And Ghost a punish. Every series going down. Who punishes who? Gets one ghost. Oh my god. They're trying to force friendly fire. That's a lot of ghosts going down. Heavy losses there for Percival, and he's been broken. Ah. Yeah, finally, Percival, he has been broken, losing every single ghost, losing the main expansion. And Solar has done it. He has broken the back of Percival. That was it. That's like he had to make a stand. That was Percival's moment. And he fails to hold on. Oh, the fungal's back. Oof. The fungal catching up the main army. The chain fungals collapsing on top of the final ghost. Still one ghost left. Again, we're getting a little bit messy towards the end here, but these are still better trades of Solar. He can still afford. Oh god, we're just throwing away units. We're just throwing them away, Packy. But it's fine. Solar can take it. He likes it. He likes it. It's fine. So just gearing up here for that final push. First we'll take down one of the bases. Line of cloud on the tanks. Gets one, gets two. As I mentioned, like, there's just no ghosts here. We have two ghosts left. The ghost count was reset earlier. That was an army that the last person could not afford to lose. Now lunging on the CC. At the same time, Percival does get across the map and he does get into the mineral line. Does get in. Again, Percival, he's trading as efficiently as possible. That is true. But GG. Yeah, GG gets cool. Doesn't even matter. And Solar, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, yeah, very intense back and forth here between Solar and Percival. And again, Percival, he actually held his own. He was knocking down bases, knocking down mineral lines. He was doing so much damage across the map. But as we mentioned, it was still not enough. Solar still had the worker lead. He still had the base lead as well. Solar could still afford those losses. Meanwhile, Percival could not. And last of course, it all came down to those final moments here where Percival got caught out in the open. He was surrounded with his ghosts. He lost everything, of course, and he could never quite replenish that kind of army. Not anymore. GG. GG well played. There was a chance, as we were trying to emphasize, where if Percival was able to maintain his ghosts and take the bottom left-hand expansions, then maybe he could start to overwhelm, but wasn't quite able to achieve that. GG. And with that, Solar takes the lead. Now we're going to be loading the game number 2. What I will say is that Percival, he did look actually more impressive than Bjorn in this series, but he also had a different approach, right? Like, Bjorn was hyper aggressive and was going for 8 Raxes and 9 Raxes and 3 base all-ins. Here we saw that Percival, he embraced the longer and later game, so he was able to actually embrace like Liberator and Ghost play, multi-pronged aggression, and yeah, he held his own. It's impressive. Here we go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Terran player, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Seal Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. Here we go. I think one of the other reasons why Percival did so well in that last game was that the lurker play from Solar was very lackluster. If you recall, we saw 9 lurkers dive into the Nidus worm and they didn't really come into play. There was potential when the Nidus got up and running. I was like, yo, if he can unload all his lurkers and take over the ramp, then that could be game. But he never quite did. He never quite did commit, never got on top of the ramp. So the lurkers were a little bit lackluster. Now we're getting into game 2. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget. From here, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Smaller map aggression is typically favored here, so we're leaning towards some more aggressive builds out of both players. We could see Solo open up Roach. Roaches might be the go-to here just because the map does favor early pushes. We'll see how safe Solo plans on being. So this is going to be a standard open out to Percival. No 2-axe Reaper this time. Nah. So Percival does move out. Does threaten the mineral line. And behind this, we're going for a 3rd CC before Starport. Economic build out of Percival. So far so good. Standard opener, likewise Solo claiming his 3rd. Joining up, pulling out of gas. Pretty tame start. I say that. You said I see 8 lings are on the way. That is not normal. He's going for a Ling Flood. Okay. After a very intense, a very long game 1, we're going for a massive Ling Flood here. 16 more lings are on the way. Jesus. Solo, he's very committed. The goal here is to take over the natural. Does hug the edge. Yeah, there we go. Link Speed kicks in. Does rush across the map. And ideally he wants to catch these Hellions. Yeah, the Overlord does spot the Hellions moving out. As he moves out, Lings are moving in. And there's nothing at home. Wow, there's nothing at home to defend. Jesus. Yeah, the wall does open. Sorry, it does close. Thankfully, but all these SCVs will go down. Hellions are raced back home to defend, but there's only 2 Hellions. Only 2. Ah, no. Okay, get up to 4. Up to 4 Hellions, but we come in for the surround. Gets 1. Yeah, it takes out one of the Hellions, going for the other as well. He wants him. Gets into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. We'll check the Hellion. That's still more SCVs going down. That is critical damage. 11, 12, 13 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, critical damage is being dealt. And with that behind this, Solo is just droning. Solo, he's droning, he's saturating. Solo, he has no tech, but Solo has a very comfortable lead. Very comfortable lead. And you also got a full scouts confirming the Banshee play. That's why we have spores in production. They're being thrown down in the bases. Percival, he needs to find some damage. Now, because of all this aggression, the lair is quite late. This is a 5-minute lair, when typically we see one much earlier, of course. And we have roaches. Okay. So it looks like Solo, he's going for a roach all in. I mean, he's ahead, so it makes sense to just go for the 1-2 punch. as this should lead into roach speed. We are actually getting double Evo chamber. Never mind. My assumption was that we were going to be hitting without any upgrades, but no, it looks like we're going for a 1-1 timing. This will be hitting much later. Yeah, much later. Okay, diving in the queens. Clutch and shoes. No detection. One queen goes down. Gets one, going for the other. Ooh, 2 queen kills. 2 up to 3. Jesus. Clutch chance used. Third queen goes down. Detection has arrived, but is it too late? There's still 1 banshee left over. No. Queen, get out of here. Yeah, messy defense here from Solar. Detection was so delayed. Those 2 queens added so much DPS. Percival, he's in this. He's in this game. It's still rough. And I believe Solar's still going for an all-in, but we'll see if we can recover. Solar, he's massing up those roaches. As you mentioned, in my mind, Solar is not going to be joining from here. Banshee does get a full scout. Hey, does scout, does confirm. Oof. But Percival, he does get eyes on the roach warren, so now he knows what's coming his way. We need tank lines, bunkers, depots, Sim City. But we're on Ruby Rock. I mean, this map already favors aggression to begin with. So specifically, what I mean by that, usually you do have a bit of a more defensive position back at home, but here there's an entrance in between the bases. So even if we have a siege line set up at the 3rd base, we can just ignore the 3rd and go straight for the natural instead when it comes to all-ins. It looks like the best defense is going to be a strong offense. Personally, he's pushing across the map instead. He wants to try to force the fight on Solar's side. But remember, Solar, he has not been joining. He's not been joining for quite some time. Solar, he's ready. Solar, hey, gets a tank. Gets one. Gets the other. 0 tanks left, and this will trigger a counterattack. These are dealt with. Solar, he commits. Back at home, we have 1 tank to defend. Oof. Yeah, blast on one of the bunkers. Pushing further in. A couple of Ravagers do go down. The battle zone quite connects, so some messy fights here from Solar. Very messy, but he still breaks through. Yeah, still takes down the tanks, takes down the bunkers. As I mentioned before, Percival, he was woefully underprepared. He did not have his siege line set up. But more importantly, he lost so many workers early on. And now that's going to be too much. Yeah, Solar, the 3-base all-in has arrived. He's got his Mass Roach Ravager. Knocks down the front door. Breaks into natural, the boys are being pulled. 2-2 is denied. Yeah, denies 2-2, and now Solar starts running. Now he starts to join up. Catching 3 buildings. Denies the 3rd. From here, Solar can back off, build up. Infestation bits on the way. Hive Tech is going to be in the horizon. More expansions. Now, the one thing that Percival has is drop play. This Roach heavy style, these Roach all-ins, they do have very limited anti-air. It's very limited anti-air. So drops can excel. But main push is less so. Let's pick up. Picks up, jumping into the main. Liberated does siege as well. Drone's going to be going down. So far, we get some damage. That's something. Oh, the miles! Oh my god. Cuidado, papi, cuidado. Full whenever it goes down. Solar, he's maxed out. He's maxed. And here comes Solar. Here comes wave number 2. This time with +2 carapace, so this time with better upgrades, bailing speed as well. Bailing speed, link speed. So let us siege. Does siege up. This is buying time, okay. So I'm going to say Percival. So Percival is buying time. Oh no! Liberators are exposed. He will lose both. Oh, he loses one. Yeah, a little bit miscalculated from Solar. Some shaky trades. There we go, bots are connecting. Finally, the Liberator goes down. And from here, we're just reinforcing. More links are on the way, more Banelings as well. We're slowly transitioning out of purely Roach Ravager into a more Link Bane heavy composition. Well, these Liberators are being so annoying. He gets one. Oh, yeah, just the one. He just powers on through. Gets past the Liberation Zones, getting in some of the tanks as well. And he has done it. And so he has done. He has broken through. He overwhelms. Again, game 1 was very close, very back and forth. Here in game 2, just hyper aggression out of Solar. He had enough, and GG Solar. He will claim the series 2-0. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a much more aggressive game 2 here from Solar. Winding up back, game 1 was a very long, very intense back and forth late game between Solar and Percival. Here in game 2, Solar went for a Link Flood. He went for a very early Link Flood. He was able to catch Percival with his pants down. With that Link Flood, he crippled Percival. He didn't kill, but he did cripple, and that allowed for the follow-up 3-base all-in with Roach Ravager. It was 1-1 upgrades, 3-base saturation, 6-6 drones, no drones at the 4th base, pure Roach Ravager. Was enough to break the 3rd and break the economy, and then just build up from there. Just build up from there, droned up a little bit, teched up. GG. GG, well played. Whew, but again, a very intense back and forth. Solar, he does advance on to the grand finals, and Solar's going to be waiting for the winner of the next series. It is going to be best of 3 between Clem and MaxPax. Hi. Until then, though, we're going to be going on a short break. We're halfway through the broadcast. Up next, we're going to be covering Clem versus MaxPax, and we'll be following that into Solar in the grand finals. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. Hup. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we've returned. We returned here with the second semifinals of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with Percival versus Solar, and Solar, he did claim the series 2-0 to advance on to the grand finals. And Solar, he's waiting for the winner of this series of Clem and MaxPax. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be jumping into our TVP. It's a bit of a rare sight nowadays to see Clem versus MaxPax. I feel like for the past couple of months, for 2026 at least, it has been all about Clem versus Hero. Like Clem and Hero, they've been facing off so often in these tournaments. Classic as well. MaxPax a little bit less so. But we'll see. We'll see how they compare to each other as we jump into game one. It's going to be on Tourmaline. Let's go. Let's go. These older rivals from years gone by. I remember, for those who didn't watch the video recently, but it was a couple of days ago where DNS he released a "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" video with Clem and his dad, and they went through like a bunch of like trivia questions basically with Clem and his pappy. It was beautiful. And one of the things they went through was one of the multiple choice questions was who is Clem's nemesis on the Ligulac? Who's his number one nemesis? And I think the options were MaxPax, Maru, Hero, and Dark. That's it. It was MaxPax, Maru, Hero, Dark. That's it. And then they kind of like went through the process, and Clem was like, yeah, like MaxPax, he was like my rival, like my nemesis, like a couple of years ago. But like nowadays, like it's like heavily in my favor. And it was like a toss up between like Dark and Maru, and in the end, and it was Maru. He has like a really strong record against Clem, like historically, I should say. Partially also because they don't really play too often against each other. But a lot of those wins from Maru were especially in years gone by, back when Clem was playing TVT. Nowadays, of course, you know, plays Protoss. There we go. Here we go. We're jumping into a fresh series. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. As we're going for the proxy. Let's go. Let us go. We have our gas back at home. The initial probe scout doesn't really get eyes on too much. It does get eyes on the would-be natural base, so it's going to be as annoying as possible delaying the CC. Meanwhile, we can see that Clem has other plans, going for his own proxy Marauder. Ooh, Marauders are amassing, and MaxPax is none the wiser. But again, I do recommend it. We'll be going a little bit more in depth regarding the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Clem from a couple of days ago during the podcast. We'll get into it more there. Get into it. But it was nice. It was very wholesome seeing Clem with his dad working together to answer questions. Wholesome, baby. Wholesome. As the Marauders are amassing, MaxPax behind this, he again is none the wiser, so there's no safety battery, there's no safety shield battery. He's got his first adept on the way, and he will be woefully underprepared for these Marauders as they are slowly backing up. As the first adept does move out across the map, Clem is pushing. We have one Marauder so far. We're waiting for the second Marauder that will hit with Concussor Shell. Marines a veer off towards the side. The CC, it may be delayed actually. It's going to be close. It's going to be delayed. So nice pick up, but doesn't matter. So nice delay here on the CC. A second adept moves out across the map. So we have two adepts across the map. There's going to be one Stalker at home to defend, and here comes the army. Here come the Marauders. Bearing in mind there may be a recall. No. No energy. Yeah, there's no energy. There's no recall. Adepts are racing back home. Marauders have arrived. The boys are being pulled. But now the Marines. Yeah, bunkers on the way. Marines have made it here to tank, to shut down those boys. Catching out the first adept. Does shade away, just barely. Ooh, the first one does shade, the second one does not. Yeah, late shade there for MaxPax. Both adepts go down, and Clem, he's just snowballing out of control. He breaks through the adepts, breaks into the natural base as well. Bunker doesn't finish, thankfully. That could have been game. That could have been game then and there. But it's still critical damage here as more probes are going down. And back at home, Clem, the CC is done. He's just rallying at this point. And the overcharge will keep the Stalkers alive. We'll keep them alive a little bit longer here, but once again, the energy does run out. He's out of energy. Yeah, no. And he wants that bunker to finish. Yeah, he shouldn't finish though. He does focus it down. Stalkers a trade. Losing another 2 Stalkers. And even if this army gets cleaned up for Clem, it's already paid for themselves. Right? It's already paid for itself. And he wants another Marauder. So he wants another Stalker. He gets it. Another Stalker goes down. Finally gets cleaned up. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon, but we're still rallying. We're still rallying. Bunker finishes. No, oh, the body blocking. Oh my god. The body blocking. The SCV is an animal, man. It's an animal. And with that, the natural is forfeit. Yeah, we have to evacuate the natural. We can't just keep rallying. Clem is overwhelming. As the Nexus will eventually go down. Behind this, how many gateways do we have? 1. There's 1 gateway. We can warp in 1 Stalker at a time. Blink is halfway done. And I'm even investing into Stim with the proxy. The proxy Stim, baby. Let's go. Let's go. SFI is terrifying. SV goes down. It couldn't dive into the bunker. As there's the NG overcharge. Bunker will eventually fall, but even then, there's just so much damage being dealt to by the Marauders. Oh, ooh. Marauder does pull away in time. Oh, the mule to repair. Oh no, the mule repairs the bunker, stops them from burning. Oof. Punishing the Stalkers one after the other. Blink is still not yet done, and that's going to be too much. Yeah, it's going to be far too much here at this point. GG gets called. Clem takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. Clem. It does claim the first game. It does overwhelm. Again, a cheeky move here by Clem going for it. Wasn't just the proxy racks across the map, but Clem, he even sold the story that he was expanding. Remember, he sold the story that he was fighting for his own natural, that he had to get his own natural base up and running. Of course, that was distracting MaxPax, forcing the ups across the map. It also had no reason to scout nearby because he had saw that first racks at home as well. So MaxPax, he was none the wiser as to what was going on. He was caught with his pants down. GG. GG, well played. Just really unfortunate that his adepts were across the map and that he had no safety battery at the natural either. Just had no idea what was coming his way. And with that, we're now getting to game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. Loading into Winter Madness. We go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into game 2. This time, no proxy. This time, there's no SCV out on the map. There's no cheeky racks. There's no shenanigans. For now, we're opening up back at home. And welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. We typically expect longer and later games on this map. And we'll see how Clem will approach this. Despite the fact that we expect longer games, it is going to be a double gas opener. Faster factory, delayed CC out of Clem. So it is going to be a more tech-heavy start. This can lead into a heavier Cyclone counter early on, can lead into a faster 1-1-1 into Banshee play. It can lead into a commitment into Mine Drops. We have options. It can lead into Reaper Hellion. We'll see where Clem takes us. Show us what you got. Likewise, we'll see MaxPax kind of recover. We'll see if we can get into his game. as MaxPax, of course, is kind of well versed when it comes to two-base heavy play here. I think what's important is that Clem was able to, again, deceive MaxPax in that first game. Coming into this, we are going to be expanding, of course, after the factory, and we'll see if Clem does embrace the two-base all-in. I'm not really fond of two-base all-in, specifically on Winter Madness, so I'm hoping that we do veer away from that. So I'm curious to see what kind of aggression Clem does go for. For now, is indeed making the Hellion. So we have our initial Reaper Hellion. We'll see if he doubles down. Reaper breaks in. Doesn't quite get the probe. Ooh, okay, does pull away. And barely gets out. Just barely. Just denying mining time. Twilight counts are open out of MaxPax, opening up into Blink. We'll keep an eye on the gateway counts. As he does get across. Oh, he wants the Reaper. Ooh, he gets it. That should not have happened. Bit of miscontrol there from Clem. Ooh, losing both Reapers, actually. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, both Reapers go down. With that, we do see that Clem, he has less map control. It's going to be harder to scout. But is following up with a mine drop. So here come the mines. Meanwhile, a better start here from MaxPax. Catching up both Reapers. Doesn't lose a single Adept. Now, because the map is larger here, we're expecting a greedier build. So far, we have 2 gateways in the main and the robo at the natural. So 2 gate blink out of MaxPax. From here, we can expand. Otherwise, we could throw down extra gateways. As Clem moves out with his own mine drop. Clem is moving out. And this building up to his early tanks. I believe that is an extra gateway. Yep. Oh, we have another gateway as well. 4 gate blink. Hey, I mean, that's what MaxPax is known for. Mine drop into the natural. Wonder when the mine does burrow. And so far, does retarget. Nice control. Gets one. Takes that one probe. Even saves the Widow Mine. Nice control here from Clem. Does pull away. This medevac and this Widow Mine will keep supply pinned back at home, but remember, we have 4 gateways, a big delay on the third. So late third base out of MaxPax, 4 gates in total, 4 gate blink. Again, MaxPax, he's renowned for his 4 gate blink control. And we'll see if he can break his opponents, if he can break Clem. So far, Clem, he will get a bunker. He's playing safe. So Clem, he doesn't see the gateway count, but he does see lack of third. So the Hellion was just zoned away. So Clem, there's a very high chance. I mean, he knows that there's at least 3 gateways, most likely 4. Now confirms the third base timing. And he's getting a second bunker. Yeah, good read. Good read here by Clem. Second bunker's on the way. He does have his 2 tanks. Interesting that he does set up 2 tanks in the main base and 2 bunkers at the natural. So interesting split. MaxPax, he warps in. Dives into the natural mineral line. And so far, it does pick up a couple of Marines. Nothing major. And Clem isn't committing. Sorry, MaxPax isn't committing too hard. Oh, the retargeting. Gasu. Oh my, the pickup. What the hell? Jesus. Okay. A very quick pickup there by Clem. Saves the Widow Mine. Ready for another dive. Observer gets caught. MaxPax, he doesn't commit across the map. He only warped in those 4 stalkers. So even though MaxPax went for a late third base, he doesn't really commit too hard. Doesn't believe he can. I think it's a good call. I mean, he got scouted. But this means that MaxPax is in a really awkward position. A late third, a late saturation, late economy, late tech. It is a shaky start for MaxPax. The build of choice was meant to be more aggressive and failed to really get any damage done. So a very shaky mid-game here for MaxPax. Building up into Storm has potential, of course. Third TC by Clem, building up into the mid-game. He is macroing. we go. Observer gets caught once again. Observer caught out. And Clem looking to break out from this contain. He wants to break out, baby. There's that third. And the game is slowing down. Okay, so we're slowing things down. Clem, with his third base, he can now build up into the mid game and have a solid economy, work towards a 4th CC. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he's also hoping to gain map control, contain his opponent, and build up his own economy as well. Storm is done, now working towards double Robo, double Colossal production. MaxPax, he's trying to build up and perfect his army. He's getting there. And with the arrival of the third, Clem should soon be getting into his own Ghost production. Vikings are on the way. No Ghost Academy yet. Oh, first Storm does land. Raising the main army. Yeah, Storms are mainly zoning. We had one good Storm. MaxPax being very ambitious with this army. It's very, very fragile. It's a lot of High Templar, not many Zealots. There's that Academy. And it looks like Max actually wants to go for it. Bearing in mind he doesn't need to, he's making 2 Colossus at a time, but it looks like he wants to commit. And we'll see if we can find a way in. Yeah, committing up the ramp, does blink. Here come the Storms. Yeah, first couple of Storms do land. Zoning back the army, but does not break through. There's still, what, 4 Storms remaining, almost 5. But we don't need to push into this. Again, the goal for MaxPax should just be contain. Just contain Clem. If there's an opening, sure, but... Oh, okay. Very nice Storm. Jesus. Ah, no. The whole position micro in the storm. Calm down, Clem. Calm down. So we had some nice storms. And thankfully, MaxPax, she doesn't lose his High Templar. It's calming down. Meanwhile, second starport's on the way for mass Viking production. Make it 4 Vikings at a time. Ghosts are reviving. And there's that 4th CC. So both armies are about to max out. Both Clem and MaxPax, they will both max out. They'll both embrace the mid to late game. We're getting there. You can see that MaxPax is looking for an opening. They'll see the tanks. They will siege. Oh, snipes a High Templar. Better trade for Clem. MaxPax does find his way up the ramp. Yeah, Clem's out of position. MaxPax moving in. EMP does graze the army. Bunker does go down. Not many Stalkers. 1 Storm does land. Yeah, so far the Storms are solid. But the Vikings, they bully back those Colossus. And MaxPax is forced out. Forced out of the bases. The Colossi are quite low. We're building up to 5 Colossus. I mean, I'm pretty sure MaxPax is just assuming that the Colossus they're going to die. So he has to replace them. The Templar count is a little bit lower now. We're getting up to 4 Templar. So less Templar, less Ghosts. Sorry, less Storm, I meant to say. Once again, forcing his way up the ramp. Better CranKy for Clem. Ooh, decent Storm. Storm does land, but it still feels like MaxPax is overextending. Bleeds out 2 Colossus. There's 1 Colossus left. Another Storm is coming in. Lands a Storm. Oh my god. Jesus, another Storm as well. The army is so very low. Gets a Colossus. One storm left. Sorry, did I say one? I meant to say two. Jesus, there are so many storms. And with that, Max actually does get into the natural, breaks into the mineral line. Another storm is going to be coming in. The storm does land. Again, the army is deep in the red. Uno más. Ah. Denies the snipe. The storm. But that's it. Like there's no more splash damage. I think there's gonna be soon one more storm available. There it is. The final storm does land. Very nice connection. Crazy final storm. And with that, MaxPax, he breaks through. He has broken through. He gets into the economy. 23 SCV kills. I was concerned that MaxPax was overextending, but no, he found a way in. He found a way in. Out position Clem. And with that, that's 26 SCV kills. Gets on top of the tanks. And GG gets called. GG gets called. MaxPax ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, that position is brutal. The position specifically in between the natural and the third base. I was concerned that MaxPax was being overly aggressive, and I stand by that. I do think that he was, but we saw a big moment where Clem rotated towards the left-hand side. Basically, Clem, he missed MaxPax's rotation. He was lacking vision on the main army. Clem, he rotated over towards the left, over towards the area in between the third and the fourth base. Meanwhile, MaxPax found his way up the ramp. He was able to get up the ramp. He was able to dish out extra damage, zone away with the storms, and just kind of wedge himself through. Again, he had so many storms available. We saw that Clem was so close to defending, but like over time, the army was just getting weaker and weaker due to the non-stop storms. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, we are now getting into the ace match. Let's go. We're getting into the ace match. We're loading into 10,000 feet. Okay, so it's in these smaller maps where I do favor Terran players more than Protoss, and the opposite on larger maps. Like on these larger maps like Winter Madness, it is harder for the Terran player to be aggressive. We saw that Clem was hyper defensive on Winter Madness, which is expected, but now we're loading into 10,000 feet, a much more aggressive map in the map pool. Here the turns can table. As spawning in the top hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Danish Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. Tying up the series 1-1, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. We go. So getting into the ace match here, and welcome to 10,000 feet, a much smaller map of the map pool, a map that does allow for more aggressive builds, more aggressive play, and we are expecting more aggression out of Clem. Remember, last game, Clem, if I recall correctly, I don't think he ever moved out across the map, except for his Reaper harass. His Reapers. His Reapers, they moved out, but I believe that is it. The Hellion as well. Outside of that, Clem was just stuck at home. He was just stuck at home, stuck defending, trying to build up in towards a maxed out army, and he almost got there, but MaxPax was able to break him before he could perfect his army. Here on 10,000 feet, we can see a more aggressive Terran instead. We do have a much shorter rush distance. The rush distance by ground is shorter than on any other map in this map pool, so a very short rush distance. Does allow for all-ins, does allow for aggressive play. It's going to be Zealot first here by MaxPax. I mean, hey, we just spoke about it. Short rush distance. It goes both ways, but alas, the SCV is going to be zoned away. We do see that MaxPax, he scouts the initial low ground setup, and he does cancel the Zealot. Does cancel. There's that CC. MaxPax, he scouts, he confirms. Does confirm that it is real. So he's now aware it's an economic opener. I assume that MaxPax was going to be going for the Zealot anyway to try to delay the CC and rally across the map, but opts not to. As the Adept is on the way. Safety bunker out of Clem. And we'll see where Clem's build does take us. We'll see, Pappy, we'll see. Once again, Twilight Council to MaxPax, opening up Council into Blink. And we'll keep an eye on the Gateway Council. We're expecting at least 3-gate Blink. We're expecting a safer build here by MaxPax, as again, there's just a higher chance that we see more aggression from Clem. Clem going for his own 1-1-1. Once again, opening up with a mine drop. There we go. Really good moves from MaxPax. Yeah. Again, like it was very risky. It was a very risky move out of MaxPax, but in the end, it was worth it. In the end, he was preserving his High Templar. That's the most important thing, right? Is I was concerned about the aggressive moves out of MaxPax, but he was preserving his High Templar, keeping them alive. Two more gates on the way. It is going to be 3-gate blink into the robo. So again, a very safe play here from MaxPax. See, my drop does move out. Oh, this time it's going to be a little bit more committed. It is going to be a triple mine drop. You can see that Clem, I believe, he didn't make a heli in this game. No Hellion and no Reaper. Just now getting scouting for the first time. As he'll see nothing across the map. And now boost in. Does boost into natural. Medevac takes a lot of hits. Does burrow 1, does burrow 2. The shots are going up. Oh no! Oh my god. 4 probes going down. A nice damage so far. Do we save the Widow Mines? Barely do. So Medevac does boost away. Does get the hell out of there. Nice shots. Nice damage. Meanwhile, blink is done in 5 seconds. Or in a couple of seconds. Does not catch the Medevac. Medevac does make it back home. And MaxPax is expanding. Remember, 3-gate blink. Depth chase into the mineral line. 2 SCV kills, not bad. Oh no! Oh my god. The mines, they punish the Stalkers. I believe they were in position to punish the War Prism, but regardless. Nice damage. Nice damage here. Tank shots going off. Oh, despite that, 7 SCVs go down. A nice damage here by MaxPax. Does delay the economy. Getting another worker. 8 SCV kills. That's a lot of damage. Uh-oh. Looking at Clem here. Observer goes down. Stim is on the way. We'll see how hard Clem commits. So Clem is taking a lot of hits. eBay's on the way. That's typically indicative of a longer game. Stalkers, they do get punished. Now they get punished. Here comes the move out. I'm still waiting to see if he does commit and pull the boys. For now, it's going to be 3 tanks in the bio army. Stim is finishing up as the army gets across the map, and eyes are on Clem. The storm will be done in time. Reinforcements back at home. Nice clean up of the zealots. Prism does scout the mineral line just in case. MaxPax also checking. And here comes the High Templar. Here comes the storm. Ooh, blinks in. Raven does barely survive. Scan reveals the High Templar. Tank shots going up. Oof. Does get 1 tank. That wasn't quite worth it though. That was a lot of units going down. Zealots and Stalkers. MaxPax going for the backstab. And the army's in position. And Clem, he will hold. And he does hold on. The War Prism is still out there. Still across the map. And I don't see Clem breaking through. Not against 3 High Templar. Did I say 3? Now 4. 4 High Templar. Plenty of storms. MaxPax getting ready for this round. And Clem has to get out of here. He has to get out, Pappy. Here come the Zealots. Here comes the surround. And we're coming in from behind. Tanks will fall. Nice cleanup. And Clem just overstayed his welcome. Stuck around too long. Leads out of medevac. I'm trying to come in from behind. He attempted to reinforce, but it was just too late. Okay, nice mine shot. Nice mine connection. He scans. He's trying to deal with those High Templar. Oof. Ah, no shot. He cannot. Yeah, too many Templar, too many storms. Oh, God. And with that MaxPax, he's snowballing out of control. He's breaking on through, takes down the main army. Again, Clem just got surrounded. He got caught out. And GG. GG gets called. There's nothing back home to defend. And MaxPax will claim the series 2-1, taking down Clem and advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I'll be honest, I'm surprised that Clem didn't pull the boys when he went for the 2-base push. That's what I was waiting for. And to be fair, MaxPax was waiting for it as well. Shout out to MaxPax for scouting with his prism, for checking the mineral line to make sure that there was no all-in coming. Remember, in the lead up to this, Clem, he lost 9 SCVs. 9 SCVs went down. It was a lot of economic damage that did weaken the push. And in the end, Clem, he just went for his main army move out. There were already High Templar waiting. Those storms were ready, and Clem could not break through. He could not push through those High Templar. He could not push through those storms. GG. GG, well played in the end. He was stifled, he was delayed. We saw that MaxPax was able to counterattack, keep the reinforcements back at home, and then eventually surround. Eventually did surround, and with that, we have our 2 finalists. We have our 2 finalists. It's not going to be Clem and Solar, it's going to be MaxPax and Solar instead. Again, very impressive play here from MaxPax to shut down the aggression from Clem. I mean, we did have that back and forth, of course, but MaxPax does claim the series, and with that, we have our best of 5 grand finals. Un momento. Finals, a best of 5. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, we have our best of 5, and game 1 is going to be. Oh, we're going back. We're going back to 10,000 feet. Let's go. I want Legacy with Japan. Oh, este deadly kitten. Congratulations. Congratulations, Pappy. GG. But here we go. We're getting into our grand finals. The best of 5, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestone Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. But congrats, este deadly kid. Congratulations. So that MaxPax doing work with Templar. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, this is something that Clem has been very vocal about, is the strength of Templar in the current meta, especially these early Storm builds. Basically, because of the change of the Templar, they are very powerful when it comes to zoning. So in the position that we just saw, Clem couldn't push. He could not push into the third base of MaxPax due to the amount of High Templar and the amount of storms. That kind of stifled any kind of aggression that Clem had, and he just could not gain any ground. Meanwhile, I guess more importantly, MaxPax is able to harass, able to keep back the reinforcements, and then set up that surround with that War Prism. But that is something that Clem has been vocal about TVPs, these early Storm builds. Can be brutal if the goal is to be aggressive, of course. That's the caveat of that's the caveat for that kind of position. But here we go. For now, Hatchet got Spool, standard opener out of Solar. And we're expecting all-ins. Very quickly, when it comes to this series and this matchup, welcome to 10,000 feet. So we just mentioned this, but 10,000 feet is a very small map. Shorter rush distance by ground, aggression is favored. We just saw Clem attempt and fail to be aggressive on 10,000 feet. But I do expect to see all-ins. If you have been watching Solar as of late in ZVP, it's very, very rare to see Solar macro. It's very, very rare. Very often it's Solar, just all in. All in after all in after all in. Different variations, different flavors. We've seen a lot of Roach-based all-ins, a lot of Hydra-based all-ins. That's typically what we expect out of Solar. He also does embrace Mutaplay as well. It's typically a bunch of shenanigans. A bunch of quirky play and or quirky styles. Show us what you got. In ZVP, I should emphasize. In the ZVP matchup. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he's known for standard play. He's known to play standard and very by the book. Does like to mix hidden Glaive Adepts, for example, but isn't too quirky with his play. For now, Stargate. Stargate open at MaxPax, opening up Oracle into a third base. Meanwhile, our eyes are on Solar. Does he open up with the early Evo Chamber, Roach Warren, or Lair? We're just looking for the tech. Yes, from here it is going to be an initial Oracle opener. Again, standard opener out of MaxPax. The goal here is to scatter across the map to harass, to secure your third expansion. Once again, though, I do want to emphasize that aggression is favored here on 10,000 feet, so we're expecting aggression due to that shorter rush distance. We'll see. Yeah, so MaxPax claim is for third. Again, the distance between the natural and the third base is very short on this map, so much more defendable third expansion. Snipes the Overlord. Overlord goes down. Oracles, they move out across the map. Two Oracles, they can one-shot drones. Here comes MaxPax. Going for an earlier Twilight Council. Interesting. Earlier Council, delayed Evo Chamber, or I should say delayed Forge. And this could be Glaives or early Blink. We'll see if he does go for a slightly later Forge here, which has been very trendy as of late. Roach Warren out of Solar, playing safe. Oracle pokes in, 2 drone kills. 3 drones even. Not bad. 3 drones go down. Meanwhile, I still don't see... Okay, I was going to say I don't see the Forge. It's going to be a much later Forge here, but early Blink. If you've been watching players like Hero or Classic, they've been very fond of this style. Basically, we're going for a much later upgrade here. And this does mean that +1 and +2 are going to be late for the Protoss. That is true, but the upside is a very early Blink. This allows MaxPax to be the aggressor. I just mentioned earlier that specifically on 10,000 feet, aggression is favored. I mean, MaxPax can be the aggressor instead, with Mass Blink Stalker early on to apply pressure to the 4th base. The Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle does a extend. A little bit greedy there from MaxPax. We'll lose 1 Oracle. This is the 4th base that we spoke about. Ideally, MaxPax wants to push in and attempt to break that 4th. Here come the Stalkers. Here comes MaxPax. So again, the goal is to break that 4th expansion. Solar's ready for the counterattack. Things they move in. See, Max actually was distracted for a moment. We have a Spire on the way. A risky play here from Solar. Very risky. We'll see if he gets away with it. Again, so far, Muta's unscouted can deal critical damage. They can get out of hand. MaxPax's aggression was delayed. Now he's pushing. He has Blink. And it's going to be pure lane defense here from Solar. No upgrades. back to him. MaxPax, he has his warp in. Breaking to the fourth. We have 7 meters now on the way. Ooh, first ace trap does get baited. It's out one of the traps. Lings, they come in for this round. Base out the second stasis trap. Solar, he's holding well. He's holding very, very nicely. And the mutas are coming. And remember, MaxPax has no idea. He is not scouted. He has no idea what's going on. Behind this, the natural's exposed. The main is exposed as well. These trades have not been good enough. Finally gets some of the expansion. Lings are going down. Mutas are revealed. Yeah, it does reveal the mutas. So he can miss into the main. It does get into the mineral line. At the same time, these stalkers are getting out of hand. Oh no, where's the blink control? Yeah, some late blinks. Some late blinks are from MaxPax. Not quite engaging with everything. Pulls back to the stasis trap. Just connecting with one Ling. And so he holds. Yeah, he's holding on back at home. Meanwhile, 18 pros going down across the map. Critical damage. MaxPax is hurting. And now we're collapsing in. And we're coming in from behind. Getting on top of the stalkers. That's still quite close. Again, that still was 20 probes. That was still a lot of damage. MaxPax still committing in. Yeah, no gas at the third base. He's going for just a 10 gate all in. Pure stalker. Can he break through? I feel like he should be able to. There just aren't enough Zerglings. Yeah, now just trading with the stalkers. Heavy losses here for Solar. Losing so many. Sorry, I must say mutas. Losing so many mutas. MaxPax is getting out of hand. I'm a little bit surprised that MaxPax isn't making any Phoenixes. Remember, he has a Stargate. That's a lot of mutas. And we're just fighting head on. I'm trying to at least. And does attempt to. Stalker count is relatively low. So like he knows he's close to breaking MaxPax. He's close. And at this point, I do feel like Solar has health. At this point, he's just nobly out of control. Getting another expansion we can now take up into towards Hive Tech. Building up his Ling Muta. Remember, at MaxPax, he doesn't really have any gases to tech up into Storm, into Colossus, into Archons. It's just purely Gateway Army. It's purely Gateway all in, and it's failing. It is failing here. And catching up more Stalkers. Once again, just fighting head on. Down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. Jesus. So many. As we're hitting critical mass of mutas, it's going to be 19 mutas. And again, still no Phoenixes, no further tech. Gases are now finally being taken at the 10-minute mark. So delayed. MaxPax has recognized that he can no longer kill. Even if the chance was slim earlier, now it's even slimmer. What did I say? 19? 25. 25 mutas. Let's go. And these should be the final moments here. Once again, base at the stasis. Collapsing on the Stalkers. Does commit in. Tries to at least. And from here, just going for the dive. Does focus on the Stalkers, just ensuring they don't hit critical mass. Just ensuring. And doubles back around. Oof. And finally, the first Phoenix. The first Phoenix is on the way. MaxPax is like, you know what? This isn't working. It's obviously it's too little, too late. Too little, too late. These mutas have gotten out of hand. As we should be seeing some more activity here from Solar. Oh. Bleeding out some mutas. Technically there is a way back in here for MaxPax. He can attempt to stabilize. He's still a ways away from doing so. Nice aces. Nice aces, kiting back, catching a 1, 2, 3, 4 mutas. Once again, expensive losses here for Solar. And I'd be concerned for Solar if he stops trading. Like, he has to keep trading. Got to keep going. He commits in. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalkers. But really, he wants the Phoenixes. Jesus. As he's being punished. There we go. Still worth it, though. Lings, they bust into the mineral line. Muta's pushing back in. 15 probes go down. And there's going to be a lot of Phoenixes. No upgrades. No fleet beacon. So we are still lacking those upgrades. But for the most part, again, the Muta play was worth it. It was risky considering that MaxPax was going for a 3-base all-in. MaxPax should have been able to punish, but wasn't quite able to break the front lines. Never killed the 4th expansion. Jesus. As we're sniping a lot of mutas. Now, is there a world where Mass Phoenix here is actually able to outtrade and punish Solar and allow MaxPax to build up his economy? I mean, he's on the way. He's getting there. No spores in the mineral lines. Yeah, messes that up here from Solar, bleeding out more mutas. Hydrogen now on the way. But this is getting a little bit scary. Not gonna lie. A little bit worrisome. Once again, nice Phoenix control here from MaxPax. He controls well. I believe this is Templar Archives. Yes. No storm yet. Once again, no spore. What the? These base, there's still no spores in these mineral lines. So much greed out of Solar. Hydras are revealed. That should prompt storm. Oh, we're just pushing. MaxPax, he can end the game, by the way. No shot. Oh no, this is brain breaking for Solar. Like, he was in such a good position for so long in this game, but again, he chose not to tech up, and after a while, he was not doing enough damage. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Okay, gets over the Stalkers. Stalkers that get surrounded. Lings are popping up. The Zerglings, they'll kill the Ground Army. Send it, Pappy, send it. There's one Mutalist left. It's now all about the Ling Hydra. But Solar, here's saying some hefty losses. 25, 26 drone kills. These Delta are insane. Solar, he falls behind. He has no economy. He has no drones. No shot. Oh no. Not like this. He's to build a corruptors and over IMO. No, it's too late. Like, there's no economy. Like, he can't afford it. Like, Solar, he's broke. This is it. Solar, he's all in. Solar, he's being forced all in, and he's being forced into this kind of army. Yeah, plenty of Archons. Plenty of Archons. GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very impressive comeback there from MaxPax and Solar. Ooh, resting on his lowers a little bit there. Again, Solar, he did well for himself early on. Solar, he was able to shut down the 8 gate. He was able to shut down the 3 base all in, able to gain map control, cripple the economy. Like, Solar, he was doing well for himself, but he wasn't taking up. He was staying on mutas, which is fine if he's able to keep that momentum going. But over time, he was not really doing much damage. He was bleeding out a lot of mutas even before the Phoenixes. But once the first Phoenix arrived, that's when we switch. That's when we should have seen a switch into Hydras and into Lurker Tech, or into Roaches, one or the other. But we saw that he saw the Phoenixes and he's still stuck on Ling Muta. He made the decision to stay on Ling Muta and he got punished for it. Phoenixes, they just snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does take game number 1, and now we're loading the game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. But very quickly, everything just, the turns were tabled. The turns were tabled on Solar, and that was brutal again. Like, he made it through the hard part. He shut down the initial 8 gates, but alas, he was not able to follow up. He was not able to deal any further critical damage. Let's go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player himself, the Zach Green Zerg. It is Solar. Here we go. Here we go. But again, Solar, he was just stuck on mutas for too long. And again, it's okay to be committed to muta play be committed to muta play like that, but only if you're doing damage, right? If you're crippling the economy, trading with the army, and making sure your opponent does not build up. Once they start to stabilize, you got to get out of it. You need to get out of it and start switching into either a Roach Ravager heavy style or a Hydra Lurker heavy composition instead. Stuck on the mutas. You saw the attempted switch into Hydras, but it's too late. Too little too late. And now here we go. Loading the game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Ruby Rock. This map also does favor aggression. I don't see Solo going into mutas again this series. It's typically something you do once in a best of 5, once in a best of 3. Now that we've seen it, and now that it did not work, after doing so well early on, we should be abandoning muta play here. And eyes are on Solar for a 3-base Hydra all-in or for a German taxi. Eyes are on Solar. For now, Hashgas Pool, standard opener. When it comes to Ruby Rock, again, the 3rd base is more open, more exposed. There's no elevated position here when it comes to the main attack path. Likewise, we also have this area here in between the National and 3rd base, which is also open. It's why we often do see a lot of all-ins on this map, and why they're expected. Now, because of that, even though I would say it was a shaky early and mid-game from MaxPax, it would make sense for him to open up with early Blink. Remember last game, it was a late Forge, early Blink, and early Aggression, and MaxPax, for the most part, he was holding his own, did bleed out a lot of Soldiers eventually, especially with when the mutas came into play. But MaxPax was unrelenting, just doubling down on the Mass Stalker. Pulled it off in the end. Did pull it off. Meanwhile, Solar, he pulls out of gas. Gets Link Speed, pulls out of gas, very standard opener here, claiming his 3rd, and building up. That does move in. Does move in. Does threaten the mineral line. Oracles are on the way. Once again, our eyes are on Solar to see whether he goes into a lair first, Eva Chamber first, or Roach Warren, or Bailey Nest. But where's the tech? Should find out in the next 30 seconds. Likewise, Solar, he does come in for a scout. Confirms the second Oracle's on the way. Yep, once again, early Twilight Council. This time, this Twilight Council is earlier than last game, actually. It's a little bit earlier. So, Glaives are still on the table. Eva Chamber out of Solar. Glaives would work wonders here, and MaxPax the scout. He does! Oh, not quite. Never mind. I get excited about that. He just saw the spawning pool. He does not see the Eva Chamber. If he saw the Chamber, Glaives would be the go-to. Without seeing it, it might still be Blink again. Twilight Council's finishing. What's it going to be? Forge. Yeah, Forge is on the way, so it's going to be Blink. +1 melee links out of Solar into Ling Hydra. As we were mentioning, so because of Solar's build, he's going to be skipping Banelings and skipping Roaches. That's why Glaveadeps could work really, really well here against Solar. But it is going to be Blink, and the +1 melee links are ideal against Blink. I do favor Solar early on. The Oracles barely do get away. Weakened Oracle does pull back. There it's on the way, gets spotted by the Revelation. And we'll see when MaxPax takes his gases. Soul's playing it safe. Goes for the Bailey Nest. Here comes the early move outs. Remember, this is earlier than normal due to the early blink. And the goal should be the 4th base. Should be the main targets. Meanwhile, Solar, he's going to link main Hydra. Standard follow-up here. This time again, no mutas. Links they pick in, they get 1 probe. And Solar, he's not joining up his base. I mean, at the moment he cannot. It's done. One Solar goes down, decent stasis. Oof. Stage drops going off, reinforcements have arrived. We mentioned earlier that that MaxPax, he wants that 4th base. It's getting low. Solar's holding. And Queens move in at the same time. Ooh, Bailey, they crash into the mineral line. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, MaxPax, he was distracted, so were we. He's hyper-fixated here on the main army, and now MaxPax is all in. MaxPax is all in, and he's being shut down. A nice stasis. Very nice stasis trap. But again, MaxPax, he has to at least kill the base, and that'll be a start. Hydras are trickling in. Yo, where's that warp in? Backing resources. So MaxPax, he needs more damage. This is still not good enough. The Hydra cannon is amassing. And soon Solar can start to move out. He can soon start to push. Trigger one of the stasis traps. MaxPax, I mean, he's been trading well against the Leagues at least. Oh, as he is forced to spend both stasis traps. Ay, ay, ay. MaxPax moving out with the Zealot run by. Hydra cannons are getting higher and higher. And it's looking more and more bleak here for MaxPax. The Zealots will help. Flashing at the queen. That's the other queen. Zealot said you try to poke in, but last row Banelings to defend. Yeah, Solar, he's fine. Perfectly fine. And he can soon break out. And remember, there's no splash damage. There's no Storm. There's no Colossus. By design. Remember, there's the same build that MaxPax went for last game. It's just a 3-base all-in. It's a 3-base all-in. That's why there's no gases. That's why there's no tech. That's why this 4th base was very late. It's just purely a gateway composition for MaxPax. And it does not scale well into a longer game. Doesn't scale. This goes up. Solar, he should soon push. It's almost maxed. And again, this all came down to the Baneling run by. It all as MaxPax, he was all in, and to have like a delayed or disrupted all in like that is brutal. Archons will help, but Banelings ahead for the mineral line. This time MaxPax is paying attention. But there are so many Banelings. There are so many. Yeah, he gets in. Oof. Brutal connections. 18 probe kills. Archons are on their own. And with that, we have a back and forth. We have a series. Solar Sun steps in, takes out another Archon. And there is nothing left here. There shouldn't be a defense. Final Archon goes down. Lunges in. Batty lunges in. And with that, again, we will have a series. Both Game 1 and Game 2, MaxPax going for the same build. I'm hoping that we can see some more diversity, though, as GG gets called and Solar takes game number 2. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We have that back and forth. Again, same build 2 games ago to MaxPax. Game 1, he was able to punish eventually those mutas and build up and shut them down. Game number 2, though, we saw that MaxPax, he was committing across the map. He was distracted. He was pushing towards the 4th base. And as he was pushing, we saw the Baneling run by into the natural mineral line. Sorry, into the 3rd mineral line. I mean, we didn't see it. Neither did MaxPax. And with that, things got out of hand, got out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're tied up 1-1 and we're getting into game number 3. Bearing in mind it's a best of 5. Best of 5. We have more games ahead of us, more games to come. But now that we're jumping into that 3rd game to determine who takes a lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the blue Protoss player, the Danish Protoss representing Slastorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. As welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a larger map of the map pool, but has a very open 4th and 3rd expansion, so aggression is still more favored here compared to Winter Madness or compared to Celestial Enclave, or Mothership is open as well. But again, a more accessible 4th, a more accessible 3rd. So we're expecting aggression out of Solar. Meanwhile, from MaxPax, we're hoping to see something more defensive. We're hoping to see something other than 8-gate Blink. And the early Blink build. We'll see. We shall see. So now we're building up. We have our standard openers. From here, our eyes are going to be on Solar when it comes to his tech. Once again, we'll be waiting to see if he goes for the early Evo Chamber, early Roach Warren, or early Lair. Based on the map itself, we should be getting into the early chamber. There is a chance here that Solar plays Hyper Greedy. That might work here, going for a faster Hydrogen into faster Hive into faster Lurkers. That is a style that Rogue is very fond of, and that we've seen a couple of times out of Solar, which is just be cut some corners, be Hyper Greedy, and just rush into Lurker tech, into Hive tech Lurkers. It's a very niche build, but it's the back of my mind, especially on some of these larger maps. This map isn't bad for muta play, but we already saw mutas in game 1, so I want to lean away from that. Let's go. Don't forget to stretch. Posture check in the chat. Posture check. Sorry, just stretching. Here we go. For now, it's going to be the initial Stargates. I don't really think that MaxPax is one to mix in Void Ray openers. We're expecting an Oracle here. And it is going to be the Oracle. Technically, Void Ray openers are viable. The Void Ray opener leads into hunting down Overlords, denying vision, and denying scouting information. Well, so far, standard play. Speaking of standard, oh, did you see that? Okay, bit of a cancellation. Does save the drone. We're still waiting to see either an Eva chamber or a lair. That's still early. True. Oracles are moving out. Third base is run down. Yes, MaxPax is poking in, no major damage yet. The other interesting thing here is that we only have a second Oracle. There's no third Oracle being made. And there it is, a much more standard Forge and Twilight Council. Looks like +1 and Blink. This time there's no kind of disparity here. There's no earlier Twilight Council. Looks like standard play here by MaxPax. Now there's suddenly a higher chance that we see gases being taken into Storm or into Colossus. Like, it looks like a more standard mid to late game here from MaxPax. Yeah, there's the earlier Robo already. Meanwhile, we can see the Solar Heat actually does skip his Evo Chamber. Okay, so he's going for the Roach Warren into the lair. Once again, embracing a longer game. Technically, this can lead into Roach Hydra into like a 3-base all-in. We'll see when the Eva Chambers get thrown down. We'll see. MaxPax taking up in towards Storm. No surprises here. Templar Archives into Storm into a robust defensive setup. MaxPax is going to be the defender. Solo's taking gases. Where is that done? Where is that Hydra then? Technically, it could be a Spire. With 4 gases. Spire is possible. Yeah, there it is. Spire is on the way. Okay. Okay. We're going into mutas. It wasn't quite successful in game 1. We'll see if it goes unscouted here in game 3. Bold move out of Solar. Bold move. I mean, there's a much more macro variation of muta play. In game 1, we were rushing to mutas. Here, we're just kind of slowly making our way there. Solo's taking his gases. Archon Chop is coming in. Damage is nice and all, but we'll see if MaxPax scouts. Committing into early Zealots. Want to trade? Roaches are ready. Nice kiting here by Solar. Solar, he should be able to hold his own. Forced to make extra roaches, true. Does force out roaches. Drops into the main. Muta production has begun. And MaxPax, does he get behind the mineral line? Does he get in? He's so close. He's so close. Ace trading well, getting 1, 2, 3 roaches. Very nice damage. The queen will zone away. And MaxPax is woefully underprepared back at home. He's not ready for mutas. He's not ready for it. Oh. Yeah, as the Archons, they just bully the roaches. Jesus. The roaches are getting bullied back. His mutas are about to hit the field. And now they're scouted. MaxPax now he knows. I mean, mutas are already across the map. Getting into the mineral lines. Their cannons are ready in time. And probes, they will go down. 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. Yeah, 7 probes going down. This time we can see MaxPax having a much stronger reaction, going for a second Stargate in Phoenix production. Much stronger reaction this time from MaxPax. If you recall in game 1, MaxPax was so stubborn when it comes to going into Phoenixes. This time is much faster as a reaction, as a response. Main armor looking very robust. Yeah, Solar cannot move in. You cannot move in. And I'll be honest, the mutas are great at harassing. I don't see Solar breaking this natural position or this third position. It's going to be very heavily fortified. Solar, he's maxed. He's maxed out with a 4 base economy. He's making the way in. Does go for the Stargates. Doesn't quite get a Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenixes, they survive. Archon, they move into reinforce. 1 Phoenix goes down. Oof. And does kill 18 probes. Nice damage here by Solar. Main army's moving in. Yeah, Solar, he does cripple the economy, getting 26 probe kills. Is what he's hoping for. So far, the mutas have been worth it. True. Have been worth it. Nice stasis. Stasis goes off. It's going to be a very difficult journey here for Max to actually get a 4th expansion. It is possible, though, to get a 4th base. As yeah, we're just all in. Okay. I was curious to see if MaxPax was going to try to slow down and get a 4th expansion, but it does seem like he just wants to commit across the map, and he does recognize as well that he just can't macro out into a longer game. I mean, this is a death blow of an army. Does he drop into support? No. Prism goes down. As MaxPax moves out, so Solar's moving in. Trying to catch reinforcements. I will say the Solar's ground army is pretty weak. So we're going for the base trade, okay. We are committing. Army breaks into the natural. At the same time, the 4th expansion is going to fall. Ideally, we do want to hold on to the storms, though. Don't want to be too wasteful. He wants to hold on. Phoenix is there to extend. Phoenix is taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. 17 pro kills. This is 1 High Templar with the main army. So he's going to break through the Spine Forest. The Immortals will break through. Okay. The Spine Force goes down, the Roach Horn as well. No more Roach production. Uh-oh. No more Roaches. Phoenixes have decent control. Oh, freeze out of Phoenix. Use the take over the natural. Bearing in mind that Solar does have a bunch of expansions. They're mainly empty, but does have bases. Oh, he recalls. Yeah, recalls back home, going for the storm. I'm on the fence about the recall. Phoenixes, they take a lot of hits. There's what, 4 Phoenixes left. 4 Phoenixes. Archon goes down. Yeah, and Solar he overwhelms. He overwhelms the army. GG gets called. It was a messy recall, and Solar, he will take the 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Once again, it was very, very risky to go into mute play here for Solar, but it was unscouted. It was unscouted. That's what matters most here. No scouts, no vision, no realization. MaxPax was caught with his pants down with the mute play. This time he was much faster to switch into Phoenixes. That is true, but despite that, the mute still did critical damage. Likewise, the Roach Ravager as well, containing MaxPax on low base count. He never got to 4th base. He never got to 4th. He was forced into an eventual 3-base all-in, but it was such a late all-in as well. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 4, potentially the final game of the series. Solar needs uno más. One more game to claim the series and to become our champion. Let's go. As we load into Tourmaline, a very small map of the map pool. Aggression is favored here. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss down in the series. Can he bounce back and force that ace match? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Solar. 1 game away from claiming the series. And again, we did see a very risky maneuver out of Solar last game, going for a Roach base opener into Muta play. Very risky, but once again, the Mutas were unscouted. They were unscouted, unseen. Eventually, we saw, once they were revealed, MaxPax did react with his own setup, of course. But alas, we saw that MaxPax still sustained a lot of economic damage from those Mutas. Mutas, they more than pay for themselves. As we're settling into our next game. Let's go. But now, Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch Gas Pool. We do have our standard opener out of Solar. And when it comes to the last game, MaxPax, he was trying to tech up as well, like working towards Storm, working towards Archons, working towards Immortals, but again, he was stuck on a worse economy. Couldn't quite afford it. Build up, couldn't be active across the map. Oh boy. Now, as we load into Tourmaline, this is a hyper-aggressive map. We do have this entire massive area in between the bases. We have a massive area here at the linear 3rd base and at the triangular 3rd as well. Very accessible expansions, and this often does favor all-ins. So we're leaning towards that style here from Solar. He does have some breathing room considering the scoreline as well. So we'll see if Solar does commit into, say, like a Roach-based all-in, a Hydra-based all-in. He does have options if he wants to be aggressive. Otherwise, we could just see standard play to Solar. We'll see. Which we haven't seen this series, to be fair. Like, we don't expect standard play to Solar. No. Not like this. As once again, it is going to be the Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Based on the Rattler, looks like an Oracle. So we're leaning more towards Oracle play. As that first Oracle is coming. 3rd base to Solar. We should soon be seeing one from MaxPax as well. I'm just catching up. This is going to be early Eva Chamber. Okay, let's go. Early Eva Chamber into +1 melee, into Ling Hydra. Meanwhile, we do see a much earlier Twilight Council. Now, we've seen these early Twilight Councils out of MaxPax already this series, and every time it's been a late Forge into early Blink. But this time, I want to say that Glaives are a lot more viable here. So we're expecting Glaives, otherwise we could just see a later Forge into Blink again. Which has not been really working out too well here for MaxPax. 4 gateways. It's gonna be Glaives. No, he goes Blink again. 4 gate Blink, no Robo. Okay, this time a much later Forge. Interesting. So a very delayed Forge here from MaxPax. Random Queen. Okay, gets a random Queen. Not bad. So this looks like a 3-base all-in. Looks like an 8 gate once again. I think it was on 10,000 feet. We saw that MaxPax also went for the same build. We've seen this like, what, 2-3 times already. It's supposed to be a way to gain map control, that is true. It's supposed to be a way to like put pressure on the Zerg. But +1 melee Lings, that's going to excel. It's going to be ideal. Now the Stalkers, they can be more aggressive sooner, just because of the terrain, just because of the short rush distance by ground. So here comes MaxPax. He's got his 4 gateways. There is no proxy, so it will take some time to reinforce his army. Oh, and we can see that MaxPax, sorry, he does take his gases early. So gases are being taken, and that means he's taking up into Storm. It could have been Storm, could have been Colossus. Storm is on the horizon. So early Storm out of MaxPax. Taking up. So let's try to engage. Stasis goes off. Solar did see some gases being taken, but it's hard to confirm how many gases there are. Didn't see the gases at the natural. Let's pick in. Oh. Does pick in, gonna be zoned away. Storm is almost done. Needs a little bit more time. Oh, nice stasis once again. Stage traps are connecting. MaxPax, remember, he's not all in here. He's taking over the Storm. He's getting a 4th expansion. At the same time, likewise, Sol also massing out his Hydras. Massing up those Hydras. Eventually to break out across the map. That's what the Storm is going to be for. And speaking of, MaxPax, he pulls away. And these bases are still very open. He's got 4 High Templar at the 3rd. He's got plenty of Storms. Where are you taking us, Solar? He's droning. Okay, we're droning up even harder. No Lurker Den yet, but for the first time this series, we're actually getting into like a proper mid-game. Both players are claiming their 4th expansions. Both players are taking up. Ooh. Yeah, MaxPax is getting his 4th base, now rushing into Skytoss. Fleet Beacon's on the way, we're going into Skytoss. We'll see if MaxPax can get there. At the same time, Bane's roll in. Oh, he gets in! Yeah, he gets into the mineral line. Does connect barely, though. Only 6 probes. Could have been so much worse. 6 probes go down. Could have been so much worse. And Soul's about to max. And the question becomes, can Solar break MaxPax before Sky Toss? We can see a wall of stasis traps, shield batteries, cannons as well. It's going to be difficult to break. From Solar. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for MaxPax. Solar's on the timer. He's morphing in 23 Bailings. That's a lot of Bailings. Again, he's basically all in. Remember, he's choosing not to get infestation bit. There's no pit, no extra gases, no hive, no lurkers, no nothing. Storm's coming in. Oof. I think MaxPax holds. With this many storms and this many High Templar, Stasis goes up. Storms A once again zone away. Bailey's rolling in, more storms being thrown down. There's what, 2 storms left. Without storm, Solar can overwhelm. Up, Bailings. He gets 1. Yeah, he gets 1 High Templar. Does force in the Archons. And Solar's done it. Yeah, Solar, he has done it. He has broken the center expansion. There were a lot of storms, that is true, but there wasn't much else. Only storms. Nice that run by. Nice that counterattack. Will buy some time. Does force Solar all the way back home. But again, he achieved his goal to break the center expansion. Now we can see Tempest production is underway, but it's too late. Still a little too late. MaxPax, he was so greedy taking up into Sky Toss, and he did not get away with it. This cloak. Cloak is activated. This here does pull away. We do have a High Templar coming in. Soon have a storm. Yeah, for now selling for the Archons. Getting 1, getting 2. Yeah, a bit of a premature storm. Better towards the end. Takes out one of the Immortals. Takes down an Immortal. Spire is now on the way. That should be for Corruptors. Help deal with the Sky Toss. And once again, very nice run by 15 drone kills. Oh my god. This is gonna get a hand. No shot. This is gonna get a hand. Solar, he was in a commanding position, but these Zella Rumbites are doing critical damage. 18 drones. That is how many in total? 30. 30 drone kills in total. Solar, he has to deny the expansion, but he cannot. Cannot deny the base. Solar, he's broke. He just lost so many drones, and he's not re-droning. Yeah, he had to re-drone. Now collapsing in. Storm lands. Massive storm with the slow zone as well. Oh, god. Yeah, the storm is brutal. Another storm. GG gets called. The aggression fails. MaxPax, he holds, he defends. And we're going to the ace match. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, Solar, he was doing so well for himself, breaking the center expansion, committing here to his Link Bane Hydra all-in. But as we mentioned, as we pointed out, he lost 30 drones to Zealot Rumbites. It was the Zealot Rumbites that just won MaxPax of the game. They're crippling the economy and ensuring that there was no longevity there to Solar's army. He was just torn apart by the Zealots. And GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does claim the game, and now we're going all the way into the ace match. Let's go. Going to game 5. It's going to be on Celestial Enclave. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Celestial Enclave, we have the blue Protoss player, the Danish Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Again, a very intense back and forth so far here between MaxPax and Solar. We finally actually had somewhat of a macro game last game, but Solar, he did go for a big Lingbane Hydra all-in. Again, he did not take his gases. He did not drone up into 80 plus workers. He had no infestation bit. He had no hive. He was purely off of a lair tech all-in, but the Zealot realm lives were brutal. Again, doing so much damage across the map, and they won MaxPax the game. They won him the game. The charge, let's back me. And with that, welcome to Celestial Enclave. Interesting. Celestial Enclave, of course, is maybe the most vetoed map in the map pool. The most vetoed map is just very macro oriented, very defensive. As a result, we do often not see any games here, but we often see longer and later games. It's easier to build up into 3, 4, and 5 bases, and to embrace that late game, to embrace that sky toss. It is a very common Zerg veto. So for this to make it through the veto process, I'm curious to see what Solar has in store for us. Now, we have seen a lot of 3-base all-ins on this map, specifically targeting these rocks to knock down the rocks and to gain access into the natural. We have seen some mixed results out of that. Once again, though, it is a high ground natural, so very defendable natural expansion. Likewise, we have a pocket expansion as well, which is often saved as a 4th or as a 5th base. Often do save it. We'll see how this story ends. No shot we go mutas again. I mean, the muta play has been successful with Solar. True. Somewhat, kind of. It's a mixed success when it comes to mutas. So now we're going to be moving out. Solar claiming his 3rd. Once again, going to be an Oracle opener out of MaxPax. In every game so far, we have seen early blink, and we're expecting it again. Oh boy. And Solo, he was forced to take the unnatural natural, so a bit of an awkward early game setup. It's a little bit awkward. They're just going to be zoned away. Oracle's halfway done. We are getting there. That last game, it's not the first time we've seen Solar in a more commanding position and to have it just slip away and slip through his fingers. Not the first time. So now the Oracles do poke in. 2 would have to say shade in forward as well. This is going to get a hand. Wait, what? 6, 7 drones going down. 8 drones. 9? 8 drone kills here at the 3rd base. That should not have happened. Sorry, my mind was elsewhere. I just assumed that things would be pretty standard here, but no, never mind. 8, 9 drones going down. This is critical damage. Twilight Council back at home. Late Forge, 3 gates, early blink aggression. This is a shaky start here from Solar. Once these Blink Stalkers come into play, Solar's going to have a much weaker defensive setup. And Solar, he has to make a decision here. Now, first things first, Solar, no Eva Chamber. So no Eva Chamber, no plus on melee. With the earlier lair, we're expecting either Hydras, Spire, or Roaches, but I believe there's also no Roach one. Yeah, he's going for Link Queenitis all in. He has to all in. He just took too much damage. You can't just lose 11 drones in the early game. 11 drone kills. Now, there is an Overlord in the main, so we can go for the Nidus Storm within the main base, within the pocket. You can see Solar, he's distracting with these Lings. That's the goal. He just wants to distract. Keep the focus on the Zerglings. Nidus will soon be on the way. There it is. There's the Nidus. Let's go. Can Solo pull this off? Can he kill? Can he end that Bappy? Oh, this revelation now knows. I mean, he was already aware. Scouts as the Nidus finishes. Reactive batteries on the way. It's not ready yet. Lings A busts into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. So far, that's 2 probe kills. Already a lot of damage. The Oracles, they race back home. They get some okay positioning here. And Paul starts being warming up. One Oracle gets targeted down. Lings are flooding into the mineral line, and every probe will fall. Takes down all the probes, but what about the Stalkers? Yes, again, the Stalkers, they're going to be zoned away. Blink is just not finishing. 19 probe kills. Yeah, Blink is now done. Lings, they peel off into the natural. The Oracle will defend. Yeah, the Oracle's helping out at the natural base, but again, this might still be out of hand. The battery does put in a lot of work. Okay, Stalkers, they stay alive. Queens are going down. Stalkers are holding their own. Remember, Solar, he has no longevity in this game, and so far this is not good enough. Does an I+1. +1 is denied. And MaxPax holds. Wow, MaxPax, he does hold on. And again, MaxPax, he still has a solid economy in comparison to his opponents. He's got 3 bases. He has 3 bases up and running. Solar now getting a hydrogen, and now getting gases. Oof. Rough position for Solar. This is Solar admitting that he cannot kill his opponents, but it's also him admitting that he's not set up for a late game. He's not set up for it. Now at least +1 was denied. True. At least there is no +1. But Stalkers are getting out of hand. Supply blocking Solar. As again, Solar trying to find some damage here, trying to find a way in. MaxPax, he commits. Flying creep. Catching out these Zerglings. And GG. Yeah, GG gets called again. And Solar, the all-in failed, and MaxPax, his snowballs out of control. He breaks out across the map, and MaxPax, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming the WardiTV Monday number 78 champion. GG. Whew, GG, well played again. Critical damage early on, winding it back. Remember, Solar, he lost 11 drones. Solar, he lost 11 drones at the start of the game. That's why he was forced into the all-in. I was expecting like a Hydra-based all-in or a Roach-based all-in, but no, it was a Link Queen Nidus all-in instead. True. Was Nidus all-in, and damage was done. He was able to kill, what was it, 20 plus workers in the main base. A lot of economic damage, but the reality is that was not good enough. That was not good enough. He was all in. He had to kill his opponents. In the end, he did only cripple somewhat. He did some economic damage, but not good enough. Not good enough. In the end, MaxPax, his snowball out of control, was able to counterattack, able to punish Solar for failing to kill him. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to MaxPax. My condolences to Solar. Again, it's quite rare to see MaxPax in a PvZ. We don't see it too often, and it was a very chaotic, very dynamic CVP as well, with a lot of all-ins, with some failed cheese, with some successful cheese as well. When it comes to the Muta play, it was interesting to see both the polarities, like see it shut down, or otherwise see it excel. GG, well played. In the end, congratulations to MaxPax. But again, a shout out to Solar for making a series out of it, as that does wrap up our evening broadcast here. When it comes to our schedule, it is a really intense schedule, might I add. You can see here that we just finished up with our Monday evening broadcast. Tomorrow morning we're going to be live with OSC. We have the OSC Elite Rising Star broadcast tomorrow morning. We have GSL CK tomorrow evening. Bear that in mind. For those that are unaware, GSL CK is a team league format where the top players in Korea do draft their teams and they face off in this pro league and all kill format. We covered the first and second editions of the event over on Soup, and the VODs are available on YouTube. But this is going to be the third edition, GSLCK number 3. It'll be not on Twitch, it'll be on Soup. It will be on the Soup platform. You can see the command !Soup in the chat. Likewise, we have Pegasus Cup on Wednesday. We have the Team Liquid, the finalist judging stream on Wednesday evening as well. We already went through our judging process. We already went through all the maps last week. This week, we will have our finalists and we can go over them. We can go over the finalists. We can go over the feedback that we provided. We can go over the judging, the comments from the other judges as well regarding those top maps. So that'll be over on Wednesday evening. We have the Pondcast, Kung Fu Cup, KSL, Masters 1 Open, and Tunic Cup as well. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Until then, though, we're going to be going on. We're going to be heading off, and we'll be back tomorrow with OSC and with GSL. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off here for the time being. Stick around. Do give sort of some love. Sort of a streaming. But actually, we raid sort of quite a lot. So we'll give some love to Eva. Eva. Ay. So we're going to be heading off here for the evening. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. And congratulations to MaxPax once again. And we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Does help us fund our tournaments on a regular basis. Otherwise, do check us out on YouTube, !Socials. Our YouTube channel does upload. Also, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of VODs. Do check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao. Till next time, hasta luego.